Hello, and welcome to Trucking Answers. We'll see if this is even working. All right, so let's see how it goes. And I will see the audience in a minute, it says. So let's do this. We're trying it a different way today. Looking a little crazy. Don't know if I'm going to even be able to do it. I hope so. Let's see how it goes. Manage streams, live dashboards. Where's the chat over here? Larry is here today. First up today, Michael Muller. Can you all hear me today? I hope so. I don't usually ask that. Enjoy what is happening today. Trucker Hershey is in today. Thank you for being here on this different way to do it. So let's see here. Oh man, Alex, there's the stream down there. Alex, the OTR driver. What's happening today, Josh? Hey, good morning, good afternoon out here today. Yikes, right? Rick Olson, hey, what's happening? Mad Maldy, good to see you here today. Jared is here today. Oh, yeah, right, no doubt, right. Yikes, I'm right there. California, hey, what's going on? Cover the trucking company math. It's direct at every, it's wrong at every company, certainly. Will Burke is here. Kurt Reeder, good morning, everybody. I'm the only one in the afternoon today, I think. Good-looking truck driver still in high school. Yeah, look, people, I get stopped all the time. I get carded and stuff. People are like, boy, wow, what year did you graduate? Did you just graduate last year? Man. Rick can hear me. Thank you. Good. Voice, audio. Oh, good. I'm glad. Steel Horse, thank you. Yeah, I'm using a different setup, as you see, trying out the laptop today, see what happens, because I have a webinar to do later this week. So we're kind of the, you are the test guinea pigs, I guess. What's up from Phoenix? Man, it's sunny here today too, but not as nice as that. Chris B, oh, slightly low, right? This one you got to get right in there. So Joshua, what's happening today? Big Knock Chi-Town, man, we got to get up there and get a hot dog up there, I'll tell you. Robbie, what's happening in Florida? Albert, good morning. Bob, hey, nice, right? Dan, I'm doing good out here. Gian Media, Will Burke, it's 10 a.m. there, yeah, just getting up, I guess. Going to be staying across from the Iowa 80. Hold your wallets, you don't spend it on Chrome. Yeah, leave it in the truck when you go inside, although they might start an account for you. You got a card when you were bought a beer, yeah. Jared, never missed a show. Oh, thanks a lot. It's the power of the beard, I'll tell you. I'm clicking different things to see if I can even see myself. I don't even know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing here, just so you know. So, clicking through things. That's all. That's all. Just clicking around at stuff. Hey, what's going on? Look, I wanted to talk. I got some trivia today, too. I'll start out with a good trivia. How about that? So, I'll come back over where I can see myself. All right. What is the largest trucking company in the country over the road? And how many trucks do they have? So that's the first one I got. I got a bunch of these today. Windy City hot dogs. Yeah, as long as you get a Chicago dog, right? You can't just get it. You can't just get just mustard, right, or whatever on it. You got to get the full Chicago dog. All right. So I should keep looking at the camera, too. I'm ignoring everybody, right? I'm looking around, but I'm trying to watch the chat and everything. We'll see how this goes. Jeffrey in Denver out there. Nice. Bismarck, North Dakota. Ed, man, what is going on? What is it, 10 below zero? Is there still snow on the ground up there? Is it better to go to a private school or company school or community college? Well, I'd recommend that the first thing you do is call your state Department of Unemployment and, ask them to pay for it. That would be the first thing I would do and see if they'll pay for it, because some states will pay for this for you, and then you don't have to worry about paying for it yourself. And so then otherwise, get it yourself. Always get the thing yourself if you can afford it. So go to just a community college school in your area to get it. And then a private school. And then the last thing would be to get it from a company, because you're stuck there. You got to go to them for the next year or whatever to get it free. Mad Maldy's going to the TA to get the air fixed. Yeah, you wouldn't need it here today. It's like 40-something degrees. Not bad, though. Hey, what's going on, Jose? Dallas, have you heard of First Fleet? I've seen their trucks around. Yeah, I have seen them. But look, you're going to need that air soon, right? Will says it's working good. I'm amazed, right? I'm amazed that I could even, do this technology, even though young people like me are usually all into it, right? Good morning from San Antonio, Texas. What's going on? You can never forget it. I never forget that, right? Jared, yeah, I'm still doing that, right? I'm still doing that. Yeah, the answer is Swift. Yeah, Swift and Steel Horse gets it. Jesus, right? Jesus, right? Gets it. Jared. Louisiana will pay for your school. How many trucks does Swift have? All right. Yeah, 23,000. Very good, Mad Maldy. They stay about 23,000 trucks. So there you go. Very good. I-90's closed from Hardin, Montana to Wyoming state line. Yikes. Oversized load. You can't go. You're just stuck. Hopefully they're going to pay you to sit there. That's what I hope. You went to rail and they paid for the Cal, of course, right? You get good miles. It can be. Look, that's one way to go if you don't have any money or whatever, but then you're kind of stuck there. You know, if it doesn't work out or whatever, you're stuck going there for that year. So you don't have any, you wouldn't have any choice, you know? Clear, dry, and 28 degrees. Hebrew National or Nathan's. Nathan's have that skin on them, though. They kind of, you know, they kind of got that crunch on the outside of them. First Fleet is Averett. Oh, are they really? Hey, let me see if I can go do something fancy over here for a second. Look at this. Watch this fanciness. Did that. Look at that. How about that? Mid-America Truck Show this weekend. I hope everybody comes out and says hello. Come on out and say hi at the Mid-America Truck Show. How about that? Fanciness going on over here. Swift Night, and they're the cheapest. You know, not as I have found. I have found that they are not near the cheapest one. Why do people hate Swift? Well, they're so big, and look, for a long time they had a poor reputation. And an interesting fact, in 1990, they only had 800 trucks. What do you think about that? And look at them now, biggest company in the country. How about JBS Carriers? Are they a good company? Look, I like this $240 a day at JBS. I've seen that for a lot of their stuff. I love getting this daily pay because if you have a problem, you're still going to get paid. You still get paid even if you have a problem, and that's the whole goal of it, right? I mean, that's what we want to do. You know, I want to get paid for all my time. And so $240 a day, what if you sit at a dock all day? You still get $240. So that can work out in your favor. It might work out to your detriment. You know, maybe, oh, I would have made $300. Okay, but there's a lot of days when you'd make less than that, and you're still going to get it. I like it. In Philly, best meats, hot dogs are Dietz and Watson. I never heard of those. Maybe they don't sell them nationwide. Texas definitely pays for it. Okay, good. Texas is another state that's paying for it. And I wanted to tell people, you don't have to be unemployed to get to have the state pay for it. You can call the Department of Unemployment, and you can still be working and still get the thing paid for. So don't think like, oh, I'm not unemployed. It doesn't have to be like that. They'll do a lot of retraining. They will be. Mad Maldy will be there. Yeah. You know, what's his face from, I can't think of his name right now, from FMCSA, Martinez. That's it. They're going to make an announcement at Matt's at like 1 p.m. or something. He's going to be there and make an announcement about hours of service. I can't wait to hear about it. I just read that he's going to be there. Just read about it. Hey, Big Huge Mike, what is going on? I hope you're doing good too. Alex, you couldn't join Swift? It's not nearly the worst place going. What do I think about First Fleet? Well, I will tell you this. Cash is King Trucking, if that's part of Averett, has a review of Averett up because I saw it. So we can go, you know, he used to drive there. I haven't driven there. That would be probably a better deal to check him out on it. Any flooding going on Joplin and Jackson? I don't know. I mean, half the, it seemed to be north of that or whatever. I saw Love's that was flooded up to the roof. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, did somebody commented on the internet? Oh, the Love's is finally clean. I thought that was hilarious. Zane gets paid by the hour, so they shut down, you get paid. Perfect. So it doesn't matter, shut it down, sit there. That's the thing. You're going to get paid to sit there. There's some driver in a mega fleet truck sitting at a dock not getting paid anything, and that isn't any good at all. You just started the process with a community college, California, and it's 4 months. It is long to get a CDL, and not only truck, but bus and snowblow. You need a different license to get a snowblow truck license? That's pretty good. Get the bus one too, right? I have a passenger. I used it many years ago, and I've just kept it. Just never know. I didn't know you needed a separate license. What is it, an SB endorsement or something? Texas didn't pay for mine a couple years ago. That's awesome. Look, this stuff I tell people, it changes all the time, day by day sometimes. They have money, then they get a grant, and then they use it up. You just never know. Always worth calling. You don't know how Swift isn't bankrupt with all the insurance money they pay out? They just seem to have an unlimited amount of money to pay everybody because they're so gigantic. Mad Maldy's going to make $200 at Matt's. There's going to be people on Friday sitting somewhere in a dock not making anything, and you're going to be getting paid to sit there. So Zane got it paid for in 15. That's good. Hey, Will Hazard, what's happening? $20 on the hour of service announcement. Oh, yeah. You know, it's got to be the 30 minutes. That's what he talked about. That's got to go. And it's got to be this split sleeper, which is really what he's been harping on for I don't know how long. The split sleeper thing, I just see that ending. And so you can split it any way you want. I just see it. I can almost feel it in my bones. Western was a bad experience. Western Express, they're a bad experience for everybody. There's a lady on here, I can't think of her name on YouTube. I've been watching her videos. She started at Western Express. She thinks it's the greatest company ever. She's been broke down, and she's getting $35 a day, and she's been broke down for like 5 days. And, I mean, that's horrible. $35, but what am I supposed to do with $35? Prime walkaway lease, are they good for a starter? No lease, at least on this channel, is good as any kind of anything. All you're doing is renting your job from your company. Don't even get a lease from anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. You contacted the state of Pennsylvania. They stated no grant or loan for CDL. It varies. I will say that. Only grants are school for 2 or more years. Tell them you'll go to school for 2 years. Right. Each state's different, and it changes all the time. Some states do it, and some states are good about it. What's my thought about them dismissing the trucker tolls in Rhode Island? I'm really surprised about that. The law is always clear that you can't, you know, if something is out there, it has to apply to everybody. And so the courts dismissed the lawsuit against that. So tolls in Rhode Island that are just for trucks, it's going to stand. So that's going to be a problem. People are going to go around. How this is going to get dismissed now is all the trucks are going to drive around the toll roads, and that's how it's going to be dismissed. All the people in the area are going to be aggravated about it. I think that's the only way to get it gone, right? Does CR England have 3 bunks in their trucks? Yeah, some of their trucks have 3 bunks, but I think it's only for training. I don't think they 3 bunk a team. You wouldn't make enough money splitting it 3 ways. Opinion of CFI? Yeah, you know, they could do better, but it'd be a better place to start than a lot. $75 after like 24 hours for detention is not great. But from what a lot of people say, they treat you well and keep you running good from the emails that I've gotten from people. I think he has I don't have a CFI video yet. CFI training rocks. You can pass the blood test. If you can pass a blood test, you should be fine. You'd never steer anyone to a bad company. Yeah, nobody should. Certainly right. Anybody who doesn't even think you can pass the test, I mean, don't go take it. You do not want a fail. So if you think, oh, I need to wait or whatever, go get one of those kits, seriously, at the Walgreens or CVS and test yourself first if you think you're going to fail it. Never go and fail a drug test. You're finished driving. You're just done. Would I recommend TMC over Smith Transport? Well, I don't like TMC because I don't like making my bed every day for my mom at work. That's the real problem of the place. TMC is this, I'd rather you went to Maverick than TMC to do the same kind of work. TMC's got this, you know, the Marine Corps mentality, and they say they're a button-down company, and they make you make your bed and make sure the floor mats your truck and clean. I don't want that kind of micromanagement of my truck if I'm in the truck. I don't make my bed at home. Sam, what's going on in Oklahoma? It's probably warm there and not flooded at least. You saw where England is requiring 8 months to be an instructor. Yeah, that's correct. Right. 8 months. Isn't that plenty? $35 a day. How's that legal? You had $250. Correct. Well, it's legal because transportation is exempted from the Fair Labor Standards Act since the 1930s. We are not subject to minimum wage or anything like that. So $35 a day, that can actually pay you nothing. It's legal to just say, just sit there. We're not going to give you anything. So $35 is legal, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, and they said, I remember seeing this, and I've heard this from other people at Western. They wouldn't give her the money until she gets back in the truck because it was going to be over a weekend, but they wouldn't pay her Friday. She couldn't get her paycheck Friday because she's not in a truck because they're afraid you're going to quit with their money or whatever. So until she gets back in the truck, when it gets out of the shop, they won't even pay her for Friday. Now, that's not legal. A company has to pay you. They can't withhold your pay like that. Just crazy. The stuff that these places get away with, everybody that doesn't get paid like that should immediately file with the state and say, oh, I'm not getting my wages. They need to pay me. CR England has 2 bunks, but they put 3 people in. No, some CR England trucks have 3 bunks. Everybody gets their own bed. No more spooning at England. I guess you get your own bed. Hourly pay would lower the accident rate per million miles. Absolutely. And the detention would be the shippers. Right. Very few trucking companies will eat that. Exactly. That's why I've always said drivers should get hourly plus overtime. Every single driver. You wouldn't sit around ever again. And you would be plenty going the legal speed limit. You'd run your logs legal and everything. Logs. What is the biggest out-of-service violation? The most out-of-service violations? That's another trivia question that gets written every year. The most out-of-service violations. Yeah. Least, why pay the trucking company's note? That's crazy. I agree. Little late at the show. Calip, what's going on with that? Dollar Tree at Gary. Love for the afternoon. Yikes. Yikes. Be careful in that place. Look around before you get out, because I used to live in Hammond, right up there near Gary, right? You're heavy haul and oversized carry, we can't go around. Yeah, you have to sit there, so you should get paid if there's a route problem, certainly. You travel through local truck stops every day. I feel bad for owner-operators that seem to be doing repairs to their tractor trailer then driving. Yeah, they do that to save money. A lot of them, but, people don't realize there's a time value to, there's a money value to your time. So if it takes you 3 hours to do it, how much money do you lose if you're an owner-operator in that 3 hours where you could be driving? So you have to figure that out. Maybe it's going to take you all day. Would it taken a mechanic an hour or two to do it? They don't realize there's a time value to money as well. Not making money waiting for Menard's load to be ready in Shelby, Iowa. Do you have to, let's ask this, do you have to hand unload a Menard's load? Okay, Mad Maldy's going to talk to the TA shop. Get that air fixed over there. Call your boss to demand your pay. Maverick is a good company to start with. Yes, absolutely. Probably even less to be a trainer on the road. Werner only wants 6 months. Oh, that's even better. So the England's like, oh, our trainers are much more experienced than Werner's trainers. Love it. Josh, that's great. You wrote that too. I thought that was really fascinating. I bought a Cobra 29, worked for 2 weeks, turned on after 30 hour reset. Well, take it back, right? 2 weeks, get that thing back. Unpacking a replacement now. Yikes. As first fleet, yeah. Let's, somebody was talking about that earlier. Let's go check out Cash is King with Averett. He did a review. He worked there. There's some Canadian companies that pays over their drivers, our OTR drivers. JAT, which is one of the first companies I've seen. They're out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. They advertise. They pay their over-the-road drivers hourly plus overtime. And they're talking 80, 90,000 on the clock. Believe me, you're not going to run over your hours. You're not going to care if you sit. You're not going to speed. None of those things are going to happen, certainly. Trucking is exempt from the Fair Labor Standards Act. That's correct. Aren't we people working in America? It's been exempt since the 37 or 38, whenever it came into existence way back then. It's been exempt always. No overtime, no minimum wage. That's how companies get away with paying you zero. Otherwise, they wouldn't be allowed to do it. Biggest violations was smuggling people city to city. No. No, it was not tires either. Central Oregon Trucking is one of my most favorite companies in the whole world. Central Oregon Truck Company. They are great. You can make $100 grand there at that place with salary and bonus with excellent trucks, right? Ran into a lot lizard at the Gary Pilot. She looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Hey, I haven't seen him in a while. That could have been Dog the Bounty Hunter. We don't know. Brakes and tires. No, the biggest out of service was log falsifications. I'm just going to throw that out there. How about that? Even with the ELDs, that is the biggest problem. And the average fine, get this, $9,162. How about that? Do not falsify your logs. What a microphone. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, this is a Blue Snowball, right? I do my podcasts on this and all this other stuff. Sounding good. Thanks. Home in Charlotte, 72. Oh, yeah. Run a little late, but I guess at 72, not bad. England only requires 8 months for a school instructor. Oh, well, that's like an upgrade because you get to work at their school. They have one in Gary. They advertise here. They want you to come up there. Here's Cash King right here. Cash is King Trucking is First Fleet part of Averett. People were saying it's part of Averett, and so I'm sending them over to you because you did a review on Averett because you used to work there. So sending the people over to you, and thanks for being here today. Thomas, thank you. I appreciate it. I live near local Home Depot. JB Hunt is lined up around the corner. They do a lot of that stuff, that Home Depot and stuff like that at JB Hunt, yes. Hopefully those guys are getting paid. They're probably not getting paid to sit there. Sean is going to lurk, cleaning, as long as you lurk on here, right? Rhode Island is making the free road truck restricted roads. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good idea for them. Right. Okay, so you won't be able to go around. You'll get some kind of huge ticket. Oh, it's brilliant. That's a brilliant idea on their part, I guess. Trucking under the Federal Farm Act, set up under the standards of the ICC. Yes, many years ago. So we're exempt. Transportation, agriculture, among others, several professions that are not subject to minimum wage. People have wanted us to get back into minimum wage, too. Don't try to fight for minimum wage. $7.25 an hour is not everybody's problem, believe me. Could do an episode on one Lone Star Transport out of Fort Worth. Been here a year, and it's pretty great. Yeah, send over what, if it's good, send over the pertinent deets, as the young people say, and we'll hit them up. How about that? We're all hip today. That's a tough at $9,000 for logs. That's what I'm saying. That was the average fine for a full log falsification, which is somebody, you know, who knows how they're doing with the ELD, but $91.62, that's crazy. A poem, yeah. That poem did okay, right? I'm surprised anybody watched it. So it was just something that came to me. I don't know how that happens, you know. I'm not sure. Hey, what's going on, Joshua? Home today, 35 and sunny in Minnesota. Man, I saw you were headed back there. Shorts weather for you, because I noticed you seem to have them on a lot. I don't know what the story is by that. Mr. Skeptical is here. Hey, what's going on? Are you going to bring the old truck over on Friday to Matt's? I hope so. Poetry division is working. The poetry division is always available, and you never know when they're going to come out. Thinking of a haiku now for the next company. Maybe we'll do something like that. Who knows I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. What do you need to do if you need to take 6 days off and your company is about to tell me they're only going to be allowing me 4 days? I need to see my fiance and she lives in the Philippines. Well, yeah, they don't have to give you 6 days off. I mean, legally. So you got a choice to make. Bring your fiance here, move to the Philippines. I mean, I don't know what to say. A company that wouldn't work with you, I don't know how great it is. I mean, you got to decide, is this place worth being at? You know what I'm saying? Is this a place worth it? Because if they won't work with you, you know, unless you're going home 6 days all the time, it's something to think about. Is Canada more strict for trucking? I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time, eh? I haven't been to Canada since the early 90s when I drove for 3M. John P. says quit. Yeah, I mean, that's your option. You could say you can also say I'm taking 6 days off, see you in 6 days. So there's also that. Mr. Skeptical says they give him a month's notice. Dart Transit has a great lease purchase. I don't think so. It's very common to meet people that have paid up their trucks. I'm just not impressed with, lease purchase. Driver in Canada prison 8 years. Well, if he killed 22 people, he probably should, right? All right, so here's another interesting trivia fact. According to OIDA, the average owner-operator income was $50,000 net. That's what OIDA said. So last year, so $50,000 net after expenses. So basically $1,000 a week for the average owner-operator, according to OIDA. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Good afternoon. Heading to Avondale, Louisiana. Pick up 5,000 gallons of sulfuric acid. Where's that going? Who needs that much sulfuric acid? Is there a murder scene that's got to be taken care of? Swift has flatbed now. They've had flats for a long time. I've never been more scared in my life. Look, they have Rocky Mountain doubles, and they haul oversized loads in the West, 90,000 pounds and stuff. They do a lot of stuff. It's amazing how the federal government, FMCSA, trying to push truckers down with laws and overregulation. We and farmers are two of the most important industries. Yes, that's true. The idea was, I guess, in the 30s that, the roads were so bad or whatever. It's not like there were any kind of good roads. And so everybody went along with it. It was all regulated, because of regulation. And then once all the regulations ended in the 80s, none of the laws really changed. We didn't really keep up with the laws. I get paid to drive, not change light bulbs. Company glad to pay TA $20 to change it, and helps the economy. I love it. You're helping the economy. That's a great way to think about it. Look, I'm just keeping people employed. That's really good. And if they'll do it, I totally agree with it. Right. Lights are one of the few things I'll actually do. If it was nighttime, I'll do them because I don't want to get a ticket myself. Drive like a boss. I love the pics on the trailer. Nice. I'm retesting tomorrow evening. Hopefully the trooper is in good mood. What are you retesting? What are you retesting for? Get some gumbo. Yeah, and etouffee. Wow, classy. Boy, you guys are rolling in the dough out there. You heard over-the-road drivers in shortage? Not really, right? Local and regional has a line out the door. Explain. Yeah, because local and regional drivers get paid for all of their time. There's not really a shortage. There's enough drivers. They just don't want to do the job, and so they all go to Old Dominion or, ABF, where they're getting paid for all of their time. There's no shortage. If England can have Freightliner custom build a truck with 3 bunks in it, okay, and then, fill all these trucks up, because I've heard plenty of stories of trainers that have to wait, or trainees that are waiting because there's no trainers around to give them a ride or whatever. There's plenty of people, but they go in and get burnt out. They get paid $400 a week, or sit like this video I've watched of this person at $35 a day, and they're like, well, forget this. Either leave the industry, or they come back and they go into like Yellow or something where they actually get paid a decent wage, or even JBS, where you get $240 a day and you don't have to worry about sitting around. You wouldn't care sitting in a motel for a week for $240 a day. I think that'd be pretty good money. There's no driver shortage. There's a pay shortage. There's a total pay shortage. Go to a doctor and get paperwork to prove that you're stressed and can't get back to work. Oh, nice. They may make you take a physical when you get back, though. They could do that. That's a good idea. But if you haven't been there a year, you can't do the Family Medical Leave Act. So you have to think about that as well. They can still fire you. Stephen, Chris B. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for throwing that over here today. I appreciate it. Do you think you're late? Stephen is late. Do you think freight is slowing down? If we do fall into a recession, will freight and fuel be affected by like the last recession? Mark the OG. Yeah. Look, freight is always busy. And a trivia. What's the number one commodity moved by truck drivers? We'll throw that out there. There's always something to move around, though. There's 330 million people or something. Everybody needs something all the time, no matter what the economy is. So it doesn't make a difference what the economy is. There's always a truck driving job. I've been driving, over 30 years, and there's never been a problem having a job driving, no matter the slow economy. It doesn't matter. Keep your record clean. Get a year or two experience. You won't have any problem getting a job, because people still need stuff. There's no ABP, right? There's no shortage. Truck companies started this lie to get new drivers, to pay them less, and to get the government to give them money, because they're always griping at the government. So they hope the government will give them money back, and they're like, oh, well, if the government would get us money, then, it'll be just fine. Saskatchewan, where the deadly bus crash just passed a law where you have to go through mandatory 121 hours of training before you can get your Class 1. Okay, good. They were thinking about doing that here. They have this law coming up, but there's no mandatory minimum road time on it, which I think is brilliant. Steel Horse, yeah, the BLS, right? Proved there's no trucking shortage. And did you see some other people are picking that article up and running with it? I think that's great. Class A road test, you lug the engine. You need to get on an automatic and test it, right? Werner over the road is 34 cents and 1 cent a year. That's not great. That's but remember, you don't have to stay there for 5 years to be at 39 cents. Okay, you don't have to do that. You can always leave, and get out of it. ABP, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You don't have to stay for your 1 cent a year. You can get your experience and leave. And you can tell them too, which I've heard is starting to work more and more. Go get those little truck stop books, really, and this is a good use of them. People are coming in and saying, hey, look at what I can get. I can go get 50 cents, 60 cents somewhere, and people are getting a dime, 12 cents like that. I've heard it starts to work. Okay, for the trivia, paper products, granite, no. The number one, more paper, right. The number one commodity is clothing and food. moved in the United States. Number one commodity is clothing and food. Driving an 80-ton truck is skilled. That would be skilled. 160,000 pounds. I will CDL soon, but you don't understand why they degrade over the road drivers. Public life on lines and goods to be delivered. People don't realize, they want their stuff, but they don't want to see us. Oh, those dirty drivers. And, the other side of it is we need to do better when we go into a truck stop or when we're out with the public. I always say, you can put clean clothes on every day and take a shower once in a while. There's part of it like that, and don't walk around, in the truck stop like, who knows what. Just be respectful. It goes both ways, Farmers removing commerce, and the federal government said we need to make money, of course, off of this. The ICC, that's why the oldest are with farmers. Oh, that's interesting, right? Just got done with level 2 inspection. You're missing a mud flap. It was there when I started. Yeah, they fall off. They just rip off. Those rubber ones tear off all the time. Joshua, my truns were a bit too fast and tight for the truth. I'm in Massachusetts. What is a trun? I'm afraid to ask what that is. Produce and toilet paper. Raw clothing and food. The toilet paper would go along with that, though, right? Driving over 30 years, and I'm only 39. Yeah, extreme upper 30s, and I've been driving just over 30 years. That's correct. ABP, thank you very much. I'll use it just for that, believe me. James, thank God you retired. It's just getting good out here now. You could get your license at 9. Back then, you'd reach the pedals. Yeah, farmers let their kids. Around here, we got Staley. All the corn trucks come up. I've seen some pretty young people driving them, I'll tell you that. Hey, Asphalt Cowboy, thank you very much. I appreciate for you being here and watching them. You don't want the restrictions, so you're giving it another go in the 10-speed. I was just looking because I was looking some trivia up. I didn't write this down, but they said about 70% of new trucks right now are being delivered with automatics. I'm very surprised about that. Your company starts at 45 cents, Richard. Exactly. 34 is low. And here again, that's way under how much Swift pays. So keep that in mind. Swift pays more than that. So people always gripe at Swift, but here it is again, that Swift is not the lowest amount paid by far. You had a trailer stolen over the weekend at a shipper. Well, that hopefully, that should be the shipper's problem, right, to figure out how that worked. Holy mackerel. Call the police. I totally agree, right? And your company should be all about that. Call OIDA too. If you remember, they'll put an alert out for that, a tracer alert. James's birthday is 25. Wow, 25. That is really good. You're gonna come to the truck show for your birthday? We'll get you a cupcake down there. That's. Have you been driving 4 years, by the way? Did you start right at 21? After 40 years, you've had enough. It's never enough. There's never enough trucking for everybody. You meant turds. Good thing you're not a book publisher. Okay, right. So, right. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as I thought. That's good. What year did Mack adopt the Bulldog on the front of their trucks? How about that? There's another question, a trivia question. I got a bunch of these today. I thought it'd be fun to do that before the Mid-America Truck Show, which is coming up this week. It's going to be a blast. I'll be there all day Friday, so come on out and see me. I don't know what you look like, so come out and say hi to me, right? Most companies are getting automatics. All our new trucks that are coming in are automatic. Every last one of them. No more sticks. Funny thing is they get me home every week, and that's even better, right? As long as that's what you, as long as that's what you want. Chris, yeah, we're going to have to talk to you about that. Going to have to stay. You may have to stay after. Most companies most drivers come from companies that train on automatics, so they don't have to retrain. I think that they're doing it, at a lot of companies for fuel mileage also. The truck gets good mileage and drivers don't miss the shift, and so they don't go through clutches. And people that are hesitant to drive a stick will come. So they said it's going to attract more women into the industry as well. I don't know if it's really done that or not, but that was the idea. That's what they thought anyway. ABP, well, I amaze myself sometimes. That's for sure. And I'll write that to my wife, believe me. Told your dispatch you needed more money. Today was offered an iffy deal. Be working directly with Hy-Vee. $250 a day, and unload your own trailer. Depends what you're unloading, right? And plus, some people like it. I always say something about it, but because it's not for me, but it's work. It keeps you moving. We can't use automatics yet with the super heavy haul and big load to destroy it. Oh, doesn't Volvo, they have some kind of 14-speed super crawler for heavy loads. They on their iShift, they've got one that's up to 2,800 torques and everything. I've seen it written about. So what are you running, like an 18-speed or something there then? At least 13 probably. Driving for 2 years. Okay, 2 years is mid-July. That's still, you started really early. There's not that many young people driving. What brought you into driving? I'm just curious on why you decided to drive. Was it like my reason where I would come home late at night from my working at a fast food restaurant, and I saw these ads on TV that said, oh, make the big money and get the respect of the motoring public? Is that what got you? And see the country? So, because that's what got me into it. Early this morning, Mississippi DOT had set up a makeshift weigh station. I love that, the portables. They told me to pull on the side and wanted to do an inspection. The officers are not allowed to. You guys aren't allowed to. Sorry, I'm leaving. Are you sending this from jail right now? You taught your 5-year-old boy to drive a truck in the hayfield. Wow. Yeah, kids get it, no problem. It's the adults that it takes a long time because you got to train the bad habits out of them, especially people that have driven a manual before. I prefer a student that has never driven a manual. Kenworth Rider, what's going on out there? Do an inspection while I'm on PC. Had to ask his boss. He kept telling me he was sorry. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, okay. So because of the way where you were sitting in your logs. Got it. Autos are good if the company doesn't molest the programming. Yeah, on some of our trucks, they've turned off the manual settings on them. Brilliant. And you're driving and like, why isn't it going to manual? Oh, well, your company has requested that be turned off. Well, why? What the heck? Well, they don't want you shifting it. I'm like, oh, my God. You're 10 deliveries a night and love the automatic. When you're doing that kind of stuff, it's pretty nice. Way better than when they came out. Late 90s automatics, horrible, right? They were horrible. Oh, right, I forgot about that. Mack incorporated the Bulldog as their logo. They got back from World War I and named it because how tough they were. Yes. 1930. I have looked, and it said the first Bulldog on a Mack truck, 1923. How about that? 1923. You failed 2 new hires on a road test that could not drive a standard. Stop the first one before they left, or the company will not take the hit on the fuel mileage. Okay, well, if your company requires the manual, then they have to do it. Like here now, they'll take the automatic restriction, which they didn't used to do. Because we're getting so many in, they don't care now. Your company gives you the option of automatic. I don't know. If the standard was a 13, otherwise I'd probably just take the automatic and be done with it. Saying there aren't women in the industry is like saying there aren't enough men in the beauty and fashion industry. Well, they want women because you know what? They've gone through all the men, I think, really. They just like, well, we've plastered all the men with ads and we've got all of them we're going to get. And so they're like, there's all these women and we don't hardly have any of them. And so that was what their thought was. That's what they're saying. Bulldog was coined by the Brits by Mack in 1919, maybe. But that wasn't the first year, at least that I saw, where the Bulldog showed up on a truck. You try to encourage people not get into trucking. That's no good. Get an honest job like selling used cars or being a piano player. Yes, that would be a better job. Great. It's a great way to make a living. You're 27, got your CDL at 19. Wow. So you started really early. It started over the road. Were you able to get a job at 19 years old with the CDL in state in whatever state? Hopefully you're not in New Hampshire or something where you could get some miles. You had one auto, some old Macs with orbital gears. Yikes. They had orbital fears also. I can't stand it today. How high will you guys DT 12 RPMs go? Yours maxes out 1750 and it drives you crazy. Our DD15s in this one, they go to 2200 with this stupid automatic in it. So, and it does it all the time. You go, especially at a light. It's real good about this at a light. You're coming up to the light and the light changes green and then the truck goes back to first gear all the time. You're going 12, 14 miles an hour. It's in first gear. So I didn't program it, so I don't know what to say. Super 10 is the way to go. Oh my God, to the junkyard. The Super 10. Your employer gave you an upgrade. I can't stand it. I'm out of a Volvo and in a Pinnacle. Oh, nice. That is a good upgrade. 13. You have a 13 speed. The only thing autos are for is eating. Yeah, the 13 speed would be the best over the road transmission. You would recommend used transmissions as a salesperson. You got your CDL in 18 that started driving in the state of Kentucky. Oh, that is great. Are you at the same company now? Did they just put you over the road? I mean, what a great start. You could be at a place 50 years of really doing it that way. That's really something. Super 10 was a great training. Am I reading something from an alternate universe here? Yes, it was, Bob. Are you two are members of the Super 10 club or something? 2 reasons for the automatic was bigger driver pool, women, which is right, which is what they say. And it's to be automatic, to be self-driving. Yeah, but we had a long way to go for that. I do think that would be part of it, certainly. I don't think there's any self-driving cars that are manuals. My understanding is that if you want to work in the oil fields, you better know how to shift. I think most of the oil field trucks are manuals because a lot of them are older. I see some FLDs and stuff in videos. Yeah. So if you're going to go down there, you need the manual, certainly. Welcome to driving professionally. We're at the mercy of other companies or brokers. It's a life of compromise. Everything in life is. Oh, you moved to Arizona. Well, at least you got nice summers and winters. Can't drive interstate state to state under 21. Right. But, he can stay in the state of Kentucky, keep his job, and as soon as he goes 21, they could do that. That's really good. Oh, okay, Steel Horse. Yeah, we will check you out there. Changing my job to a Chip and Dale stand. All right. Hopefully it doesn't involve a Super 10. Got the new Mac Anthem. Love it. Aren't they nice? I see them on the road. Never been in one. Just the way they look. Because it's unusual. Which, okay. The #1 brand of over-the-road truck in sales last year. What would that be? Probably everybody will get this one. You heard the Bulldog was a wooden, and the British troops made them out on their free time. Not sure if it all turns out, but it's a hallmark moment kind of story. That does sound like a good story. I'm 39 and working on your CDL. Do you think it's too late? No. We had just hired somebody in there like 53 or something like that. No way. You got it. No problem. There aren't that many young people. Most people that come in are your age. So, no, you have no problem. What was the deal with the truck stop fire there in the Indians? I don't know. Was there a truck stop fire around here? Are you talking about Indiana? Got a random level 3 DOT inspection. Was sweating like a car salesman. Don't ever let them see you sweat, right? It's strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. You hauled heavy equipment to the coal mines from 18 to 21. Oh, there'd be a lot of that down there, wouldn't there? So you had 3 years of experience and you're 21 years old. That's great. Economy, performance, or manual makes no difference. It runs out of power at 1750. Maybe it's because break-in, but I'm still under 30,000 miles. Maybe. It can be your company as well because they can set all those parameters however they want. The 13-speed is great. 10-speed is Right. 18-speed is good for heavy. That's why I was wondering if you're getting an 18-speed with the heavies. 15 is when you don't want an 18 but want more than 13. I never liked a 15-speed. 9 and 8 is when you're too cheap. Yeah, I mean, that's a fleet. 9-speed, 8-speed, those are fleet trucks. I got a new, even our manuals are 10s. I got a new dispatcher that has never worked a day in logistics. Oh, so you work at every trucking company in the United States. Trivia Kenworth, no, they aren't even close to being the #1 over-the-road truck bought in the United States. Not even close. Think I'm getting a Mac Anthem or Cascadia in a month. I'll take the Freightliner over that. Come on, Mark. I'm talking auto love. Look, the Super 10, I mean, I'll take any transmission over that, probably. Anything. I'll take that old 15-speed over that thing. Your company hired a 65-year-old. Holy mackerel, right. We have some people in their 70s, but they didn't hire in their 70s. There was one guy, I thought he was dead. I looked at him, I go, did you die a few years ago? But no, he's still living. Hate the LED headlights. When it goes out, you get the whole assembly. They give you a loaner truck here because they got to order it. So when your LED headlight goes out, which it's never supposed to, but they've had a couple go out, they give you a loaner truck and order a headlight for the truck. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. You're all the pros and cons about truck driving. You've been in the business a little while. Just wondering if anyone has any opinions about driving buses for Greyhound or Trailways. You know, I haven't looked into it. I actually did look into this a few years ago. It didn't pay really good, but it was super easy. And I knew a guy a while ago that drove a Greyhound, and he said if the people back there were getting loud, he would just turn the heat up a little bit and everybody went to sleep. I thought, so you just basically boil the people to bed. But so I don't know how that exactly works. I think, and I did see an ad once that said free Greyhound tickets for your driver. I thought, well, that's not no kind of benefit. Who wants to ride a Greyhound for free? So I don't know. If anybody's out here that drives for Greyhound, I'd love to hear about it. The Flying J burned down in Indy a few years ago. Yeah, that's been a while. They rebuilt that whole thing. That place burned to the ground. And at exit 465, which is just a great exit to get off, too. Then I went to, literally almost, then I went to hauling over the road. Wish you'd stayed local. Go back local. I mean, go back to what you were doing. What's wrong with the Super 10? It's just slow. It's super slow. It's slow. And I don't like the way it goes through. I just don't like it. It's slow shifting. You got to really think about it. Even after I had it for a while, I was an international, which doesn't help things. Not a huge fan. Don't like it. Slow shifting. It doesn't know what it's doing. Burn the thing. Take it out and get rid of it. You started driving at 57. That is great. And see, and so you got hired, no problem, right? At 57. How does UPS and FedEx do so well in the market? It's political because they're huge. They're kind of like Swift. That's why they get a lot of freight. And so when they're all so gigantic, that's how they get, you know, you go with the one you know. Do you know a reputable used truck sales company? I sure don't. They rebuilt it. Yeah, that J got rebuilt. And Joshua, Freightliners are the top selling trucks. Yes. 37% of all over-the-road trucks sold last year were Freightliners. Joshua started at 36. See, there's all these old people starting. The old people. But not everybody, most people, in fact, I don't think started at 21. Most people do not. Freightliner, yeah, I don't know about the Cascadia, but the brand Freightliner, #1 truck sold last year. Almost 1 out of every 3 trucks were Freightliners, probably because of fleets. The #1 fleet truck has to be the Cascadia. Yeah, and then probably the International, I would say. They're cheap to buy. They're everywhere, good on fuel. 15 speeds are 10 speed with 5 useless gears. I'm telling you, I don't like it either. But I'd take it over a Super 10 any day. Any day. What do you think about the Kenworth W990? I've seen pictures of it. It looks really impressive and imposing, right? W900 exterior with the Company T680 interior. I'm hoping that there's one at the truck show. For everybody coming to Mid-America Truck Show at the end of this week in Louisville, they use, if you've never been there, all the makers have trucks displayed that you can go through, and they have people there from their company. You can talk to them about their trucks and stuff like that. So they have all this stuff right there for you to check out, and I'm hoping they have one to go through. And those big sleepers, they have those there too. Which truck stop has the best Wi-Fi? I spent 2 hours trying to connect. Look, I probably wouldn't connect to a public Wi-Fi system. I just wouldn't. It would just really bother me. I don't think it's secure enough to connect to. I wouldn't do it. It would just bother me. I'd use my own system. I wouldn't connect to a public Wi-Fi. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just wouldn't do it. Definitely don't look as good as the W900L. It looks kind of, I thought the front of it looked kind of like Vacation, like the front end of the station wagon in Chevy Chase and Vacation. That's what I thought when I saw it. Warren Buffett states the railroad is the cheapest way to deliver per mile. For the freight moved, it's the cheapest. Yeah, but it's tough to get that stuff from the railroad over to the 7-Eleven, the Slurpee mix. Joshua the Tanker, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Michael Young started at 56 also. Everybody's starting a little bit older. New career and probably a pay increase, especially if you're getting into trucking. There must be some reason why you decided to do that at that age. Why did you start to drive a truck at 56, Michael? What is the deal? You quit Schneider and they're trying to hire you back. I'm sure, right? PTL tries to hire me almost every day now. Guess I called rehire, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah, look, they'll probably never end on trying to hire you back. Tell them you want another 20 cents a mile and see what they say. T800 Kenworth is excellent for heavy haul. I think it's all just how the mechanicals, right? Super 10, I drove one to shift better with the engine brake on. It's slow because you slowed the engine down to match the slow transmission. It's horrible. It's so slow. Collins started at 42. That's really good. Everybody's starting older. Hardly anybody starts at 21. Asphalt Cowboy started at 45. Oh, 206 truck sales. Somebody, I don't know what that is, right? Mr. Skeptical saying buses pay well. I'll go along with that. Oh, Neil says, your 84-year-old neighbor is a retired Greyhound driver and member ATU. Those driving job, well, there's no union for the drivers anymore. Is there? I don't know. Definitely better than Super 10. Anything's better than a Super 10. Trucker Hershey also started at 57. Wow, what is everybody getting out of in their late 50s where they're starting to truck? Lone Mountain Truck Sales, I've heard of that name. I have never been in there or anything. W990 is not a good-looking truck. Will started at 47 and is now 54. Joe started at 21. Oh, and now you're 50. Yikes. So you have been driving for a while. Sean was 23, and they haven't pushed you out yet. Because, look, if you'll find a place that'll pay you decent, right, nobody's leaving trucking. That's always the problem. Loves gets free Wi-Fi, get a VPN. I'm just, you'd have to get your own VPN, right? Hook through it that way. I don't know. Is it worth doing it just over your cell signal? The cell's pretty fast. What are we doing in there where we need a faster signal than that? Right. The Freightliner is the best-selling over-the-road truck in the United States. Looks like the new podcasting setup is working good. I'm glad of that because I have a webinar to do on Thursday. So kind of was thought, oh, well, we'll just guinea pig it today and see what happens. So, and I have a podcast for those of you that have not listened to it. It's not out. I'm waiting for it to be approved by Apple, but it is on the Trucking Answers Nation website. I have a podcast page. You can listen to it there. It will get better. I have a little lead in with the music and stuff. There's 2 episodes up. Check them out. You'll take a 389 before W990. Everybody loves those Pete's, but I don't like being able to reach over to the passenger side window. That's my problem. Move to a small town in nowhere land. Anytime Towing. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you here today, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow as well. Thank you, and thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. And that reminds me, don't forget Jay over at Auto Transport Intel. He does a show live at 8 p.m. Central every Tuesday, and he should be live this Tuesday as well at Auto Transport Intel. And then, don't forget, he's going to be at the truck show, too. He's got a booth number. I don't get a booth. He's a big shot over there. I'm just going to be walking around live myself. Almond started at 22 years old. So a couple of young people. What brought you in at 22? What brought everybody in? I'm always curious about that. Why are driver managers so mean? You have the worst DM. He has no feeling, no emotion, just a robot. Oh, like the Terminator. No compassion, no emotion. I don't understand why anybody goes into a job and then stays in a job for year after year that they don't like. Why would you do that? If you don't like dealing with people, don't be a driver manager. Whatever your job is, don't do a job you don't enjoy. What is the point of life to go through your whole life hating every single day of your life? What the heck good is that? You should ask for a new driver manager, really. Richard started at 55, really? Anyone know a knowledgeable technician? Well, I guess if you own the truck, you could take it to the dealer and have it changed, right? Because I think if it turns off right there, I think if you're a company driver, they have it turned off. If you own the truck, it's in the settings. Go change it. Sam started at 22, and you are the kid, not the Waco kid like the movie, right? Well, there's a good trivia question. What movie is that from? Got locked in a receiver overnight. Told me I could break there, but didn't tell me they'd lock up. So they locked you in the fence? What the heck is that? And I quit at 22. Oh, that isn't any good. What are you doing if you quit trucking? What else could there possibly be to do? Retired from USPS. Nice, the mail, and have always wanted to drive rigs. They have postal trucks, too. You had 3 uncles who drove in the 60s and 70s, right? They were regulated, as we say. It's not like they said no, because it's totally the deregulation, right, ended all that. But you like seeing the country. That's a huge benefit. You get to see every exit sign. But seriously, if you get time off somewhere, just plan your time off around the country at a company that will let you take time off wherever. And you can go wherever you want and see the whole country basically on their dime. That's the way to do it. You're a third-gen truck, your friends at trucker, or your friends at school said you were stupid. Well, who cares what they think, right? You make 70 grand, well, they have $70,000 school loan working for minimum wage. Exactly. What other people think, who cares? That's their business, right? Let them pay their student loans off. Even truck school, even if it's 8,000 or 9,000, it's way less than college. The pay scale is terrible too at most companies. So sick of making no money. Yeah, get out there and check around. If you're not making any money, you need to go somewhere where you make more money. Like somebody said earlier, Central Oregon Truck Company. Check them out. If a big company has a company man, why wouldn't they bring him in secrecy and give him to better loads? Bring him in secrecy. Like a brown noser? That probably does happen, if that's what we're saying. Freightliner has the DD15s that are favorite. You could option that engine in another truck. Their sales would slump. You got out of construction. Oh, really? And so this is certainly probably easier work. In keto, walk, get fit, in training, can't stick around. Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. What's going on? Thanks for at least stopping by and saying hello. The sound is pretty low. You have it on the loudest and cannot hear me. All right. Well, we're gonna try to do trucking at night here, right here. Okay. Holly, DM is supposed to be part of your support team. Yes, exactly. You're his boss. That's very good, right? You take a Freightliner Coronado over a W990, another gigantic truck, though. I don't like Freightliner at all. I feel the W990 will be as popular as the P372. That's great. That's really good. I got in because I needed money, and it's a family trait. Well, that is a good reason to get in, money. But you should really like it. Doing something just for money is, you're never going to be happy doing it. What is it that you want to do? And go do that. You know, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what it is. He used to be an ops manager. You need a different DM and maybe a different company if you're not making any money also. You'd be good if you didn't have sleep apnea. They have the things. I don't know. You know, I'm not a doctor or whatever. I do see people getting the sleep apnea stuff and all that. I see polite double bus drivers in area for tours. They drive, clean equipment. Yeah, you could drive a tour bus. You know, you can drive a city bus too, and they're all union. So city bus, that's not a bad job either. You'd be home every day doing that. 40 years of driving got you 2 million miles. Nice. 4 back surgeries, a heart attack, and a divorce. Well, and a good song out of it. Look, I make fun of that, but look, that's terrible. That is terrible. We just come here to your channel on Friday for a live show. What time? Here's the thing. Okay, on Friday. I'll be live down at the truck show. I don't know what the connection is like in that, so I'll go live on this channel, and if it breaks off, I'll just start another live stream. So just come to the channel, and you'll probably get a bunch of messages throughout the day that I'm live, because if the stream goes down, I'll have to go back live, and you'll get another message. So it's going to be a mess, but it'll be right here where it always is, live, and just probably 10 different live streams, but it'll be live all day. And I'm going to walk around. We're going to talk to all the places there. It's going to be a blast. You tell people, heavy battle scars. Yeah, I've always had a fascination with trucks. First one in your family to be a truck driver. That's not bad. That's like the first person to go to college. Richard started at 26. That's good too. You're at 41 cents with 12 years. That's really low. Yeah, that is low. You can do better than that. I mean, just a call to Bar Done will get you at 60 cents, just like that. So you need to tell them, look, you need a little bit more money. 12 years, even Swift would pay you more than that. Think about that. Because people, I only say Swift because people, Swift. At 12 years, you're well in the 50s at Swift. I've always had a fascination. That's good. I tell people I see everything America has to offer. Right. From the interstate side of the fence. If you stop places, though, you can go travel, rent a car or whatever it is. You're at 44 with 3 years experience at CFI. That's what I'm saying. 41 with 12 years is really, really low. Really low. I could take your wife and son with you in the truck, exactly, and go on vacation and do resets at places you want to see. Exactly. You could rent a car or Uber or whatever. 50 cents a mile to start. Michael saying, I think we're all in agreement that 41 cents is pretty low. 21 cents. Where did I see that? That just disappeared. Oh, started 21. Oh, okay. I'm a big car nut. Start car hauling paid good. Oh, really? So you haul cars. That's pretty interesting. I don't get too many car haulers here. Chris in Philly. Chris B. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. I started noticing the older guys at your job were having long-lasting work-related injuries. I don't want to sit behind a desk and don't like people. Trucking is one of the highest rate of injuries of all professions in the country. That's what they said. That's why drivers have such a tough time getting long-term insurance, long-term disability insurance. Trucking, very high relate, more than police, more than anything. It's one of the top injured professions. You asked 3 times for a new DM. First time was told to drop your trend 60 hours. Got minimum miles. Okay, yeah. Oh, well, if it's Pam already, we know. I already know that's bad then. You didn't say that, but I mean, it wouldn't matter if it's Pam. You got to leave. When they're like that, you just got to go. It's time to go. There's plenty of, with 12 years, it is plenty of time to go. The auto, Colin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The Blue Snowball doing a good job. Yes, we're, trucking at night. It's the night shift. Shifting into low gear. Oh, I can't take it. Your father pulled a skateboard for 17 years. You got in at 25 because he was tired of the factory grind. You're still not flatbedding. I did it for a while and got sick of the work. I thought there's got to be an easier way than tarping a load down in New Jersey. That's the day where it hit me. It's like 20 degrees. The wind's blowing. I'm trying to throw this tarp up, and I thought, man, there's got to be a better way than this. 2 reasons you got started: because you got laid off from school district and your grandfather was a driver and took you out. That's an excellent reason. And so now look at you. I found working for a company that makes their own product treats you better than typical trucking. The money's better. Any general freight has got to be the toughest kind of trucking. Anybody who makes a good living, just in general freight, I really tip my hat to you. It's got to be the hardest way to do trucking. When you don't know what you're hauling, you don't know where you're going. Private fleet or a dedicated account, I think, does better. So if you can make it work on general freight, I just really give you a lot of credit for that. Why even have insurance? It's supposed to keep you happy and healthy. They want us miserable. It seems like they need mental insurance because they are the ones giving us mental problems at a lot of these companies. You are a forklift operator making $21.75. That's not terrible. Been trucking for 5 years, making the same. Yeah, I'm thinking that's not too bad. I mean, $21.75 is not a terrible hourly rate, really. Can't wait, but hope to have the energy to get up and drive there. Yeah, look, come on down to the truck show. They probably have energy drinks there free. A lot of these places give free stuff away. They used to give free cigarettes when I went years ago. I haven't been in a while. I doubt they do that anymore. Your wife won't let you go to that. Why not? My wife's coming with me. Bring her with you. Look, Holly, you got to get out of there right now. There's plenty of jobs. Just start calling around. You're confused about getting a CDL license. Will I be used and abused with no further advancement? Well, only if you allow it. I mean, honestly, because there's other jobs you can transfer to another job. You can do reviews of a place. You can check a place out and see what other people are saying about it and tell if you're going to be used and abused, basically, or not. You made good money and good retirement, but had to sacrifice. It is. Started at 34 with Marvin Keller and made it to 52. That's really good already. In 2 years. Oh, so they're really advancing the pay. It's not just their crazy videos. Driving with a cast on your leg and your truck is an auto. Do they know that? What company would allow that? Holly, yeah, it's time to move on. Yeah, it is time to move on. How many get paid deadhead? Hopefully, it better be everybody on here. What's the deal when you drive 500 and get paid for 450? The deal is household goods miles. Isn't that awesome? Flatbed is free labor. A lot of places pay tarping and stuff now. Most of them, right? Let's be honest about it. Start researching other companies. Yeah. 12 years experience is worth way more than 41 cents. You're giving up, 15 cents easy. You're giving up probably $300 a week or more. Easy. Mad Mouthy was in a hotel in Tampa, Florida for 2 days. Didn't leave the room, just slept. Ugh. What the heck? Don't tell me you were like covered with pizza boxes and pizza sauce and all that too. Your lunch break is over. Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here anyway, and I hope to see you on Friday. Not sure why PayPal said too. That's all right, Chris. Hey, anything is appreciated. I skateboarded for a year, worked I-10 in the winter and I-40 in the summer. It's work. Look, there's no question it's work. Flatbedding is work. But you get to, it keeps you in better shape. Free CPAP, it should be free if it's a medical device that you need. You make $30 an hour pulling an end dump local. That's pretty good. $35 an hour if you're an extra truck. $25 for 11 hours to be off duty. That's awesome. And then there are people sitting for free. I mean, it's just crazy that a company can get people to stay any length of time, you know, and then sit them. I get emails all the time. Oh, I've sit 20 hours for no pay. You know, you have to leave. That's the only way to do it. You love paper logs and CAT engines. I'll go with a CAT engine, but you know, electronic log, I'm in for it. And if you'll follow it 100%. I was in a Freightliner, and I had a no trolley brake. I've seen some of those. Slide to tandems, there's a like button on the dash. Yeah. That's true. I've seen some of them with without the lever. I don't get it. Holly's on it. Good. Today was the final straw. Don't like the company jump. You got to go though. But I think it's time. You got to get out of there. You're giving up easy $300 a week, probably more. What is the oldest trucking company still in operation in the United States? How about that? There's a trivia question for us. Without overtime, 21 is welfare. You should get overtime. Vacation and holiday pay is nice if they don't chop and spin that. Agree. Vacation should be a week's pay. Holiday should be a day's pay. There shouldn't be any of this, oh, it's we only give a set amount or whatever. They shouldn't do that. Holly, thank you. Thanks for being here. And I appreciate it. And look, go let us know how you're doing, right? Mark at truckinganswersnation.com. You know, let us know how you're doing so that you can get a better job. There's no reason that you have to stay at a place like that. There isn't one. At all, you know. Just write to me right there. How about that? Fancy. Look how fancy I am. And, you know, write to me. Let me know what's going on so that I can see what's happening. All right. Oh, boy, man, that is fancy, schmancy stuff I'm doing here. I don't even know if it worked, really, because I can't see the screen. Holy mackerel. It's good to start off as a helper for low. Is it good to start as a helper? If they'll pay for truck school, that's not a bad way to do it, too. It depends. Do you still have to have a year then? You know, will it still take a year to get that? That's interesting. But that's not bad. Yellow does the same kind of thing. Dock to driver. That's a good way to do it. Any way that it's free is a good way to do it. That engine's obsolete. You don't see them anymore. I give you that. So are paper logs, though. I drive for an owner who can't drive. He gets mad every week because I make more than he does, 30% of the load. I'm not a fan of the single-person truck, certainly. Job hunt is old. Sometimes you have to do it. Joshua says England. Yikes. Not even close. Bar none, the first 34 hours of sitting is free. If you're on a 34-hour break, most places don't pay it. Most places don't pay it. There it is, Chris Culler with the win. Jones Motor Group. I have here 1894 that I found. But yeah, Jones Motor Group is the oldest trucking company in the United States, still in operation today. You could have started there then and still be working there now. You got 130 years in. Love it. That is really good. Love paper logs out of hours. 99 cents gets you 70 hours. That is true. That's true. Now you can unplug your ELD and buy a paper log, I guess. And maybe that's what these people that are getting all these out of service violations for log falsification. I don't know how they do it. Right, Trucker Hershey, Old Dominion? No, not even. We're talking old before trucks, right? Scotty Too Hottie, the name of a cat at Blind Cat Rescue. I love it. If you are parked in a pickle park, love pickle park. Haven't heard that in a while. And can see and hear a long hood coming in, Jake brake rumbling. Oh, yeah. Chicken lights. Be careful. The meeting call, the good buddies. Right. According to National Geographic, always cite your source. Right. That is really something. I love, guys, it's usually some guy driving this. Why do we have the big long nose? Why are we running the Jakes in the rest area? What are we doing here? Steel Horse didn't have an idea about that one. It is Jones Motor. How about that? 1894. Can you believe it? Gadco. This is high tech here. Labatt Food Service, which I've seen, Sigma and Cormark are a few in San Antonio that start you off. Low pay, but they put you through. So you're getting the benefit of truck school. And the way I would see that is I would consider that as part of my pay. So truck school is probably $5,000 to $8,000 in the area. So consider like they're giving you that for free as well. And then you go for nothing. Not bad. And they'll put you on as a driver probably. Best trucking company that pays good with little experience and requires endorsements. Oh, no endorsements. Let's see what people think about that. What would people think about that? E-log is great. I agree. Outlaw on a leash. Now it can't give me he's got to be there in the morning. Yeah, look, it holds everybody to the log. It holds the company to the log as well, right? Omar, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everyone should make at least 50 cents a year. Yeah, at year 2, yes. This 41 cents after 12 years? No way. I mean, high 40s at least, right? And it should be regular raises coming to you. This 30 cents, 40 cents? No way. That was Pam, though, so we have to understand. That's how Pam is going to be. Pam is going to be Pam. Look at this. You start at 30, so you're up in the 40s now. That's how they are there. It's terrible. They should close and be ashamed of themselves. Sliding Tams, is it 500 pounds a hole? I just 3 holes and it was 700. It depends. People think like there's some kind of thing. It depends. Depends where the load is loaded, and it depends how the holes are. Different trailers have the holes separated. I used to figure 250 a hole about on the trailers, but always remember it isn't perfect, because if the load's farther up, then the farther away you get back, it's less per hole. It's all a big science thing. But seriously, there's not a set amount of hole. I went 250. Some of them have the hole spaced farther apart. I've seen them 3 or 4 inches apart. It just depends. I thought 250 and would count that back. Oh, I need 1,200, 5 holes, and then always reweigh it. Never just let it go. Always reweigh it. Check out Holland. Yeah, Holland would be a good place as well. Either Holland would be good. Holland Enterprises, you can go make some money there and get a much nicer truck. By the way, that would be even better. Guess you can stay longer. Your truck wants to regen. Yikes. Don't tell me that's an international. Most 53s, it's 500 a hole. It depends on how the load's loaded, right? Steel Horse. Oh, thank you very much. That's very good. I appreciate it. I have a series going, Doing It Better. I have a webpage for it on truckinganswersnation.com. Used to love Mountain Dew, pack a Marlboro, and a 2,000-mile run. That was trucking, right? Some holes are 4 inches apart. Some are 6. Yeah, it depends on the hole spacing, the trailer, where the load is. A lot of things matter. You should get 100 a year, yes. Drivers should get, over-the-road drivers with experience should get $2,000 a week for being gone. You're gone from your whole life. Your life is over. You're gone in the truck. It should be worth $2,000 to people. 4-inch holes are 250, 6 inches, 400. Yeah, it varies, right? Steel Horse makes that. That's excellent, right? And so you're being paid properly for what you're doing. That's a company that respects you, because part of their respect is pay. They can't just say, your family, we respect you. That's not respect, right? Why is the cam so close to your face? Did we do something to offend you? Oh, I mean, really? On Truck Show Week? I'm on a whole different setup. I'll see if I can move it back next week. It's right there on the end of the computer, so holy mackerel. I'm making an average of 55 cents a mile for 6 months right now with a great company. That's way better, right? So you're making some regular money. You're a rookie with 6 months at Schneider getting 46 cents. Reweigh is $2. That'd be pretty good. Reweighs are yeah, but the company should pay it, right? 6 inches is 500, 4 inches is 250, rule of thumb. Exactly. Always reweigh. Worth the $2. I'd pay it even if the company didn't pay it, but they should pay it. A Mack Pinnacle with a Mack MP8 and a 450. I'm loaded to the doors, 13 pounds. What are we hauling for that? You only had 40 cents. Holy moly. Trucks, how about this? Trucks use 50 billion gallons of fuel. How about that? A year. We use 50 billion gallons of fuel. Yikes. I thought this was interesting too. There are 76 mega carriers, which they consider 5,000 or more trucks, and they have 53% of the trucks in the United States. I thought that was really interesting. 53% of the freight trucks are owned by 76 carriers. That's really something. Love the foreman best other than the Super 10. Well, I appreciate it, but I mean, I just can't stand it. I would shift it. I could go to lunch and come back, and it was just catching the next gear. I mean, holy moly. The thing was just, the proof of it is you don't see them anymore. What were they out for, like 4 years or something? You just didn't really get them. They just weren't around. And maybe people couldn't get them figured out or whatever. The idea, right, for people that don't know, you went through the pattern one time. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you just went through it once. But that was the idea. So they said, oh, you wouldn't have to figure anything out or whatever. But I never really liked it. I didn't get any, I didn't get it at all. ABP is, you guys with your Super 10s, you're going to have to start like a Super 10 fan club on Facebook or something. Colin, exactly right. L. Ray, PJ, 2,300 miles is not bad. Trucker Hershey, 50 billion gallons in the United States. Trucks in the United States use 50 billion gallons of fuel, which is only 13% of the total fuel use. How about that? I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Looked at your paycheck last week. Jamaica averaged $1.05 a mile on Dollar Tree. That'd be really good because you don't get any miles, so you get so much a stop, right, and so much a box. I'm not sure. How does that Dollar Tree work? You got to unload it, right? Am I right about that? Your hand unloading on a conveyor belt? 55 for rookie average. Why not flat rate? Hocus, but 55 cents for a rookie is not terrible money. How about another trivia question? You got the last two correct. You got 5 in a row. Let's see. I don't have too many more questions, right? Okay, so what 90%? Oh, that's not a question, right? I didn't have any more questions about that. 90% of companies have 6 or less trucks. How about that? 90% of companies have 6 or less trucks. There are 500,000 trucking companies in the United States. It's trucking at night. Bring peace and yeah, I'm bringing peace and love to everybody. Trucking at night, shifting to the night shift. Holy mackerel! It's going downhill fast here. Oh, literally, boy. That's even a trucking thing. You had a T2000 with a Super 10 and hated it. When empty, it drove like a 5-speed. You can almost drive them like a 5-speed, really, by skipping each gear. You know, Swift is not the best, but they seem better than other companies. Yes, they are. They're way better than a lot of places. Would it be good to go there and get the license and then leave? You could. Never go to England. No matter what you do, don't go to England under any circumstances. Your life is gone. Your wife is gone. House, kids, 50 cents. It doesn't have to be that way. Remember, drivers, if you have a family that you need to be home with, you don't have to be gone ever. Right? Holland, Yellow, they have a dock-to-driver program. You never have to leave your house and sleep overnight. You don't have to do it anymore. Hunter, hey, doing good over here in Lafayette at Trucking at Night. Loving it. You're going to teach me how to shift one. Yeah. Apparently, I don't know what I'm doing with it. If you can find one, like resurrected from a junkyard or something, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But the ones I've had just were horribly slow. So slow. What do I know about MGR? I've seen their trucks. That's all that's all I know about them. No, AM. Oh, that's pretty good, right? We're doing AM and the PM. We're shifting it around, shifting the clock, flipping it over. Big huge Mike. Hey, see ya. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, see me on Monday, and I hope to see you on Friday at the next show. What do we think about this? I also wanted to get to this, which I posted up there. The brainhead idiots that keep crashing give Swift a bad name. Look, the Supreme Court just ruled on the Borello case. Do you know what that is? So they ruled about California. The American Trucking Association and that fought California on these rules. This is not the new. This is an older case. But the U.S. Supreme Court just ruled and decided not to take the case, meaning the Ninth Circuit stands. So these 10 reasons, which I have right here, stand in California. U.S. Supreme Court wouldn't take it, so that's the end of it. 10 things to determine if you are an independent contractor or not. And so these stand in California. Do you do the same work as the business? Number one. Are you doing the same principal work of the business, or is it something that they do as a sideline? Do you supply the tools of your trade? Do you have an investment in the equipment? Are your services a special skill, like a doctor who needs specialized training? Is your work done without any supervision? Do you have the opportunity to profit or loss? What about the length of time for your service? Are you there temporarily to do a thing like a plumber to unclog a drain, or are you there permanently? You must be temporary under your degree of permanence and the method of payment. Do they pay you per job or for a set amount of time? That stands on the Borello case. The U.S. Supreme Court just denied hearing it, Fiore or whatever they call it, right? And so that case stands. These rules stand in California for independent contractors. Other states could adopt that, right? Can you suffer a loss? Well, then you're not independent if you can't suffer a loss. Used to drive a 2002 International with an Eagle, International Eagle, right, with an ISX 15. Nice. That would be good. With setup like that is pretty good. I'm not a fan of their cabs, but that would be a great way to have the truck. Swift and Knight have a no contract. Yes, there's no contract there. There's no anything at Swift and Knight. You come in. Now, they make you pay the school back, but they don't give you a contract. You get home at 3 a.m., do a night show. Yeah, I got to go to bed at 3 a.m. I drive a company owned by Jeff England, nothing at all. Well, CR England. He left in 1979. Is it really somebody that is like related to them, though? Thanks for taking the Super 10 with a smile. The transmission I would take is a 13 or Mac 14. Mac had a 14? I've never seen that. Was it their own? So that was their own Mac design. So you get all gold all over the way. Because I've never seen a Mac 14. Never heard of it. I love stopping in Knoxville, renting a car, staying in Gatlinburg, and hiking the Smokings. Yeah, truck driving is great. You can go see the whole country. So it's not like you have to lose your whole family. You can gain an entire seeing of the country, right? Anyone have an opinion on where somebody should have their fifth wheel pulling an empty trailer all the way forward? I don't move it around. Okay, I set it. When I have a full load, I'll set it where I'm like 11.9 on the steers, and that's where I leave it. You know, I don't move it so empty or whatever, then it just sits there. So what do you have to move it a couple times a year, maybe with a weird load? Otherwise, I don't move the thing at all. A mark for the head of the FMCSA. Oh, that'll be really something to see me run that place. We could go FMCSA live every Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Yeah, well, I'll be at Matt Saturday. I'll just be there on Friday, live all day on Friday. Because the Thursday is the pre-show and Saturday they wrap it up. So I'm staying there on Friday and blasting right out of there. But I'll be there all day Friday. And I hope to cover this FMCSA thing that they're doing there. Because they said that, you know, they're going to have the guy from FMCSA, what's his name? Martinez. He's going to be there. And so I'm hoping to see that, you know. So that should be great. They have an announcement at 1. I think 1 p.m. was the announcement. It should be really good. I'm hoping for them to change the sleeper. That's what they're saying. And I'm thinking 30 minutes. He hasn't really talked that much about it. I wish he would talk more about it, really. It's air activated, one button push. Yes, that should be right. But I still don't move them around. It's just not worth doing. And before I slide a fifth wheel, I put the legs down on the trailer too. And I recommend that. Put the legs down and then just let them touch the ground. Let the air out of the bags in the tractor. Get the weight off of it. It'll slide a lot easier. CPAP question. I had one while trucking, left the business, dropped the CDO back down. Yikes. Want to truck again? Will CPAP be on my record? I don't think so. No, I don't think that sticks anywhere, right? You needed one then for your medical, right? You're going to have to pass a new physical. So I wouldn't mention things they don't ask. That's it. Chris, why won't your wife let you go? Bring your wife with you. There's not a lot of stuff really to buy there, so I don't know why you can't go there. What do I think of Gemini? I never heard of Gemini either. Where are all these weird places coming from? What do I need to restart my business? I don't know about that. About an MC number? I'm a company driver, so that's one. I'm out of that one. Pride Transport, excellent company. So What's one good thing about Pride? Why would you recommend Pride to people? All these things for trucks are running by people who never drive a truck. That's the problem in the trucking industry. Well, the thing is, we do that in every industry, though, right? I mean, you have a president who's never been in the military for many, many presidents. We've got the head of every organization is not a truck driver. Almost every company, unless it's a small company, most of the people in charge don't drive trucks and never have. I don't know how to solve it. I mean, if a truck driver ran for public office, would anybody vote for him? There's not enough truck drivers just to vote for him, so that's the real problem of it, right? You want the 70 to go to 7 days instead of 8? That'd be good, right? We could work less. Why would someone lease instead of getting the whole pie with authority? Because they sell people a false pie. They say, oh, look, lease, you're going to make $7,000 a week and you're going to make all kinds of money. And then all that ever happens is you just end up with a job that pays the same or less than you would have made as a company driver at most leases. I really haven't found one yet that does much better than a good company driver that has good benefits at a good company. You give up everything. You give up all your benefits. You don't regret driving. You just regret the way you ran. Churn West Coast out of Indy. 4 days, should have known better. That's not a bad run, though, right? Gemini loves fuel. Oh, Gemini is the fuel trucks for loves. Oh, well, that would probably be good, right? You know, you got a parking place, and they should be home every day. And they're probably paid by the hour, although they might pay them by the load. Jeff England, grandfather, Sierra England. Really? That's really something. And so he has his own little trucking thing on the side? So Gemini is the fuel for loves. Yeah, so yeah, if there's that in your area, that kind of stuff, when these kind of companies advertise around here, it pays good. I've never seen Gemini. I don't think there's one around here. You're lied on your physical, and they tried to set up my sleep test so you could probably get around sleep apnea if your neck is thick enough. Yeah, it depends. Some companies don't even check that. Some don't do, like here, we don't have a neck measurement or anything. It depends. I wouldn't put down that you had one before and then it's not up, you know, they'll just have to determine if you need one now. They should pay for it if you need one. Mack built all the components years ago. Yeah, so you'd get it gold, right. Mack and Spicer built the aux transmissions. Yikes. With Brownie. I never saw a 14-speed. I'd like to see the pattern on that thing. Gemini loves travel stores. Oh, do they have... Those are guys who are running the vans too, right? Michael would vote for me. There's one, right? I'd probably have to convince my wife. Oh, so what is your policy platform? Martin CEO, I think I still drive. It would be very unusual. That's a large company. Most places, honestly, right? You got to admit, don't drive. The people in charge don't drive. They don't make any of them drive. All of them should drive. Would you go union per hour or cents per mile in a big city? I would go union cents per mile on terminal to terminal and hourly if I was in the city making P&D pickups because it would probably be good either way. But in the city, it wouldn't be good on miles. How many miles you get? 100 miles a day? Not bad for the team. Oh, you were doing it solo. Yeah, that'd be a tough run. That's when you need the West Coast turnarounds. Remember those? You could buy at the counter of the 76 truck stop. There's trucking from the past right there. All these lurches, right? All these lease purchases are all the same. Yeah, just worded different, right? It should say you're renting a truck from us. You're going to make less money and have no benefits. But you get to put your name on the truck, which you can't do as a company driver. That's what it should say. Karen Transportation. Never heard of them. Where are they from? Ooh, when a fuel truck runs out of fuel is the definition of irony. Ooh, that's good. 62% of loads in the United States are 100 miles or less. What do you think about that? Isn't that weird? Who would think that? Dispatchers are computer screen drivers. That's probably because all this final mile and all that kind of stuff like that. Oh, I heard an ad for that on Schneider over the weekend in Indianapolis. Hey, do you like being home? Do you like not running a lot of miles? That's what the ad said. Well, Schneider has an opportunity for you. Come to Big Orange and you can do final mile delivery. You can deliver refrigerators to people's houses. I swear to you. So apparently Schneider, you can now deliver refrigerators to right into somebody's house. That sounds like a great job. Not. Dispatch, I'm wondering, do they have orange straight trucks? I don't even know what that is. Dispatchers are computer screen drivers. Yes, they should all have to at least go with you for a week. Hourly is awesome. Isn't it great? It would be the greatest thing. You'd get paid for all your time. Very fair on pay and family owned. Dispatchers all have trucking. They should. Right. Family owned, that doesn't bother me necessarily. You run city and do 350 miles a day? Wow. Well, that still wouldn't be great, though. It'd be miles plus stops. All drivers should get hourly plus overtime. Let's just be honest about that. City, road, everybody. If everybody got hourly plus overtime, there wouldn't be all this problem with people running over hours and stuff like that. It just wouldn't happen. You had a 76 gas station in your hometown, so it isn't that old. Yeah, but what about the 76 truck stops? Who remembers the big orange ball up there? There was one in Chicago at 158th Street or 159th Street and I-94. That was the most famous one that I remember because I'm from up there. Gemini tankers get paid percentage in Hubbard. All right, home every day. If you work there or know about it, what's an average week look like? Hours and money. JB Hunt does the final mile. Yeah, JB Hunt has been big on that final mile stuff, but this is the first that I've heard an ad for somebody other than JB Hunt doing it. Schneider's like, hey, you want to deliver refrigerators? You don't like driving? Well, we can make you do deliveries too into people's houses. I mean, who gets their refrigerator delivered by Schneider? Is that like an option when you click on a Best Buy or something and buy a fridge? How would you like it delivered? We will deliver it or Schneider will deliver it. Black Molly was the West Coast turnarounds. It seems like they used to look like bees, right? Am I remembering right? And these were sold at the truck stop counter for people that don't remember, and they were like ephedrine and stuff in them, and they look like honeybees, right? They had the black, yellow, and black, look like a bumblebee. I don't remember what it was called. It's a pill so big and round to a driver. It's a West Coast turnaround. I don't remember what those pills were called. They would sell them in a pack at the truck stop counter, 5 or 10 in a pack. Yeah. People that are 16 and 17 get hired for 13 an hour at Subway. Well, that's good. 13 would be really good. I would almost do that. I mean, that's not bad. Free sandwiches. 76 Unical, right. But there used to be a 76 truck stop, which was owned by the same people. He also gives free satellite in the truck. That's good. But I'm always nervous about that. You know why? I'm always worried about a company that gives you free satellite. How often do you have to sit around where they're giving you something to entertain yourself so you won't have time to look for another job? It just makes me nervous when I think about stuff like that. I like that they do it. Believe me, I like it. Do they give you a TV also? Yes, on the Schneider orange straight trucks. Really? So I haven't seen one. Oh, somebody send me a picture of one of those. I got to find one. Schneider runs yellow. Oh, so these are yellow. The final mile of yellow. Why doesn't yellow just deliver it themselves? All Trans Am is offering is satellite TV. That's all they give you. You got to provide the truck. Dispatcher out here in Bakersfield, California, make $24 an hour. That's pretty good. That'd be worth retiring out of driving. Of course, what does it cost in Bakersfield to live, though? I do see JB Hunt straight trucks. I've seen those, too. JB Hunt started this whole shenanigans of delivering stuff to people's houses. But then I saw this. I heard the ad for Schneider. I'm like, are you kidding me? Schneider, too? Who? What the heck? Yellow Jackets. That's what they were. They were Yellow Jackets. Right in back. Mark, we can't hear you. Yellow Jackets. Right. They were Yellow Jackets. They sold them at the counter of truck stops. And they had like caffeine and ephedrine and stuff in them. Yeah. You would take them and you'd be awake for a while. Stackers. Oh, I remember Stackers. That name Stacker, right? The Yellow Jackets were the ones that looked like the bees, though. Right. And they were 4 or 5 in a pack. That was plenty. Believe me. Do most companies have Sirius in their trucks? No, but they should. And I see it more in their ads. I would say it's only $5. All right. I have it in my cars. It's $5 a month. I mean, it's super cheap. And how do you get it for $5 a month, Mark? You call them and go, I want satellite, but I don't want to pay $15 a month. I want it for $5 a month. And they give it to you. It's just that simple. It's $60 a year. That's how I do it. And whenever it's getting ready to expire, I just set a thing in my calendar. So it reminds me, and I call them like the day before it expires, goes, I want it, but not for $15, so I'm going to cancel it. And they go, wait a minute. This has worked for probably 15 years close to when it started. And I've never paid more than $5 a month. And that's what you should do too if you want it and they don't pay for it. So they should offer it, but it's not like it's some kind of huge expense. It's tax deductible too. Schneider has Whirlpool. Yeah, but I mean, I've hauled stuff around, but not delivered to people's houses. I mean, they're like, go pick this up and go deliver it. I mean, you know, so I'm just saying, I've just never seen that. There wouldn't be a meatball left if you worked at Subway. Those are great sandwiches. They always ask me, what kind of cheese do you want? American cheese. This is America, I told them. One guy's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to say that. I go, that's right. It was super hilarious. I felt bad for him. I still got my sandwich, though. Why drive a 53-foot trailer in bigger cities? It invites accidents. I agree, right. You could be hijacked or robbed, I guess. I would never nap in a sleeper in the most of the inner city. Look, I see people sleeping. The mall here? No way would I do that. It's all dark. That I totally agree with. It's nerve-wracking. No way would I tolerate that. I have a JB Hunt terminal by my house, so I was wondering what the final mile thing was till now. Yeah, it's where you deliver the last remaining time all the way to its final delivery. So that refrigerator, it seems to be appliances, what they seem to be talking about, but I don't know if they do other things, maybe. But that fridge, that washer dryer, you deliver it. Isn't that great? You show up at somebody's house and go, hey, I work for JB Hunt. I'm here to deliver your fridge. And you cart it into their house. I guess you set it up too, I guess. Because when I get a thing like that delivered, they set it up for me. So I don't know. Amazon has their own delivery vans. So they don't need UPS. Yeah, but what they're doing is leasing them to you. You can go do the same thing from Amazon. I think they actually sell it to you, but they put you in business for yourself, and you can be a multi-millionaire at Amazon by just buying a Sprinter van and go deliver 500 packages a day. Yep. To get out of paying everybody their benefits. Their day is coming. Of course, you could buy things off of Party Road in the truck stops. Yes. You didn't have to go in the truck stop necessarily, but at least you had some kind of quality control of the stuff at the counter. Where from Party Row, you never know what you're getting. You go to back of Ontario out there, oh my gosh, who knows what you're getting out there. 5, you're paying 25, right? Evil Knievel, when loading or unloading and you run out of hours, but takes another 2 hours, how do you log it? If you're at a shipper or receiver, the FMCSA put this guidance out. They say that you can leave the shipper or receiver and drive to the nearest safe, legal parking under personal conveyance. Now, it has to be the nearest one, it has to be safe, and it has to be legal parking. So you're allowed to drive to that under personal conveyance as long as your company allows it. Okay, so if your company allows that, like, well, they don't allow PC here at all, so I don't know what they would do here, but if your company allows it, you can still log it. You are still allowed to log it under personal conveyance time. You'll have to prove that you were going to the nearest safe legal parking and that you ran out of hours. There were the mini thins. Oh, yeah, those little tiny white ones too. Right. You think, oh, these aren't going to do anything. And you're like, wow, I've been up for 9 days. I see more companies offering final mile jobs. Yeah, I mean, with all the online ordering, I guess there's demand. Here's the thing. I don't know what it pays. I've never looked into it. If it would be something you'd want to do and it pays a decent wage, you're going to be home every day. So there's something to be said for it. Yeah, Steel Horse, look, I get American cheese, doggone it, at Subway, and I'm not tolerating anything less than that. Swiss cheese. What do I look like? I'm neutral? Just got here. What's the topic? Well, I've gone through a lot of the trivia already, Chrome Junkie. You got to show up on time. We're currently talking about the back row of the truck stop and the Yellow Jackets. They will never raise money. It would mess up the economy, make all goods and services go up. Take it for the good of America, keeping your costs down. Yes. The problem is these same people at Amazon eventually are going to be considered employees because they're employees. You can't just sell somebody a truck and they're not an employee because you work exclusively for Amazon. Same thing. Amazon makes them put a uniform on. They wear a uniform. It's required. Under this Borello ruling and these other rulings, that is not allowed. You have to be independent, and you have to be able to work for more than one place at a time. When these places come out like that, Prime's going to be another one because they're big on this leasing. There's going to be the brakes are going to be put on that, and that's another good trucking one right there. You've done 3,800 miles this week. Oh, they don't have you sitting at all. Night and day difference. Night and day difference from night. Oh, did you do that on purpose? 3,800 miles is cruising, right? Now you're going to watch that TV on your 34-hour break. Oh, Black Beauties, right, were made by Lily Farm in Indy, only available through Script. The real West Coast turnarounds. White Crosses. Yeah, White Cross had the ephedrine in it. No, they don't make that stuff anymore. They outlawed ephedrine, right? It's not allowed. But that stuff was sold, for new people that don't know, that stuff was sold at the counter of a truck stop, so that you'd buy that and you got a free logbook with it, basically, because you needed it to keep driving. Love sells party row stuff. Just look at their Viking helmets. That's a different kind of party going on at the Loves. That's what they call LARP, right? Live action role playing. White Cross has got you home a few times. Everybody's used those yellow jacket things that's been driving any amount of time because, you need to get cruising. So you had to put down 1,400 miles or whatever. But those were crazy days. I mean, holy mackerel. Cross tops. I don't remember them called a cross top. That was a White Cross probably. I don't remember that one. Yellow jackets might as well have been meth. Yeah, basically they were. That's how you kept driving. Was just packed full of stuff to keep you awake. Roger Penske, you're unloading in Franklin, Kentucky. What are you doing over here in this part of the world? Can I do a review on Roadrunner? Are those owner-operators there, or do they have company drivers at that place? For some reason, it seems to me like it's owner-operators. Maybe it isn't. You take CBD oil and have taken 2 tests per test. So I'm glad you misspelled it. And hair tests and passed them all. Helps concentrate. I will tell you this. I got an offer. I get these occasionally, not like a lot, from a CBD company to do a video about it, a commercial kind of thing. And I just said, I don't think so. Because it's just nerve-wracking. I'm just not sure about that. You're the first one I've heard that actually uses it. So I don't know about that. I mean, because what's the quality control? I wouldn't know who's making it, the quality control. I don't know about that. You're the first one I've heard that passes the test with it. Those things are great if you want instant gut rot. Yeah, look, they weren't any good for you. They'd burn you up inside and everything. That's true. Black Molly was boss for bull haulers. Oh, I never heard of Black Mollies either. I guess that maybe these were at different places. Those yellow jackets were the ones, and the White Cross things. I remember those too for driving. That's how you got around the country years ago. There's no more of that now. You wouldn't need it with an electronic log. But yeah, those things like meth, holy mackerel. Those things were just, you were up for days. It was crazy. It was really crazy. Then the amazing thing, and they would sell them to anybody. There wasn't even like an age limit, probably because they were illegal as it was. So they really didn't care who bought them. What if we would have had those and the Viking helmets from today? That would have been insanity in the parking lots. Pink hearts were fed. Oh, I don't remember those either. Used to get you through nights. Yeah, I guess they had a lot of these that I don't remember. Oh, they have both at Roadrunner, owner and owner-operators. Companies. Oh, all right. I'll have to look into that. I've heard of drivers getting log violations for taking personal conveyance because they didn't have a letter from their company. Well, they're allowed to do it now. You're allowed to do the personal conveyance in this way, where the FMCSA says, okay, you're at a shipper or a receiver, and it has to be a shipper or receiver, and you've run out of hours, and they say get out, which happens all the time, right? Other than our driver who's getting locked in. And so you can go to the nearest safe legal parking, it's allowed, on personal conveyance and park there. So, but it can't be like a 500 miles. I mean, you'd have a tough time proving that's the nearest safe legal parking place. So since they allow it, if your company allows it, you shouldn't need a letter for the PC this way. Letter on PC where you're going home or that kind of thing, that's a different way to do it. But this they're allowing because they know people get stuck now and run out of hours everywhere. So the FMCSA is allowing us to drive, how nice of them to allow us to do things, to a nearest safe legal parking so we don't have to be in violation because there's no other way to do it. There's no parking. And anymore at night, I'm going to leave, and at 7 p.m. I'm seeing 17 as lit up on the sign as parking places left. It's just crazy. So you might have to drive 100 miles, really. I've heard of drivers getting log violations, right. So you can drive as far as needed to get to the nearest safe legal parking. So it said. It's a supplement, so you got to do your research. That's what I'm talking about, about the CBD oil. That's why I didn't want to do the thing about it, because I just don't know. And you'd have to be very careful. I mean, even you would admit that if it had the wrong thing in there, it wasn't set up right, you could possibly go positive on a test, right? So, I mean, it's nerve-wracking, right? What natural herbs or supplements do I take? I just take a vitamin every day. And it shows, too. It's chiseled up like this. It's Adco, right. It's kind of like that, right? It's Al could explain that, right? If a company said no more for me to find a safe place to park, then that company isn't worth the time. Yeah. Well, I agree, right? We don't have that kind of parking problem here, but they should allow you to go somewhere that's safe and legal. Really, they should get you out of there so that you don't have that problem. How about the special toothpicks? I don't remember those. Was there a special toothpick that I missed next to the Yellow Jackets? Tyson and Holcomb, Kansas, 8 hours to get unloaded. See, that's crazy. You're almost through a 10-hour break. Are you logging that in the sleeper? Probably, right? You can't advance the load on PC. No, you can't advance the load, but you are allowed to go to the nearest safe legal parking. And that safe legal parking might be in the direction of your load, correct? And so then we are following, say, well, I have to go to the nearest safe place, and it's 8 miles in the direction I'm going. So, that's the thing of it. That might be the nearest safe legal parking. It might be. Wild Bill, late. I thought you quit that lousy place that you said you hated. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate seeing you here today. And we'll see you on Friday at the truck show, hopefully. 175-mile ag exemption for bull haulers before we have to start clock. Yeah, ag haulers, bull and bees and stuff, they get special exemptions. I'm not 100% up on all those exemptions. I haven't done any of them. So, yeah, exactly. Day cabs can PC to get home or to the terminal even if you run out of hours for driving. Who says that? You wouldn't be able to. Day cabs don't get a different set of rules than everybody else. So you can't, just because you can't get back to the terminal, that's not true, right? I'm in a day cab, and we constantly go pick drivers up that are out of hours sitting somewhere. They're not allowed to come back on PC just because they're trying to get back to the terminal. Anybody use a toxic shampoo? I don't know what that is, right? To pass their test. No, people just shave, I think. Just delivered to a war memorial? Really? You have a picture of that? That'd be interesting. A war memorial. That's really something. Never accept a toothpick from a bull hauler soaked in cattle medicine. Oh, that, yikes. I don't even get close to those trucks. I saw somebody many years ago get soaked from the inside of the truck. Yikes. Absolutely. If it doesn't have ingredients listed on the bottle, don't take it. Would you buy sushi from a gas station? Yeah, I mean, this is even worse though, right? This can ruin your whole career. So that's why, I mean, you'd have to be really, really careful about the CBD oil that you're taking. It's got to be the right thing or you are going to have a huge problem. Yeah, Wild Bill, I'm going to need your assistance. I hope to see you there. And you can run, interference there for me. Have to return my point of origin if I have to use PC before I can start my clock. Yes, on PC, right, that's how it would work. You would have to go back to your point of origin. But day cabs, just because you're in a day cab, you don't just get to drive back to your terminal on PC. It doesn't work that way. You've seen some analysis on CBD. It showed trace amounts. It depends, probably. Could pop up positive if you consume enough. Toothpicks were a thing in Texas for bull haulers. Really? Well, glad I never met any of those people. If you have a few hundred miles left on the trip, let's say you're in Ohio, Nebraska, safe parking is past that. Is that advancing the load? Nearest safe legal parking. That's what they said. Whatever that is. You would have to prove to them that that place that you stopped is the nearest safe legal parking from where you started PC. If that is it, I mean, if you're in the middle of nowhere, that could be it. Old driver told me that they were laced. Oh, I'm sure they were laced. I'm sure they were laced with stuff. Oh my gosh. Here's a toothpick. Oh my gosh. It wouldn't have anything to do with that. Would do these other things, but at least they're at a truck stop counter, so they're legitimate. When it is shipper receiver and your 14 isn't up, then kept you for 2 more hours, how do you log? Well, you'd still be, as long as you are, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. If you're on duty, you can be on duty as much as you want. You can be on duty 40 hours straight. It doesn't make any difference. You're just not allowed to drive. So you would still be on, I would be on duty. I don't have a sleeper, but people have a sleeper. If you're in the sleeper, it could just still be in the sleeper. Whatever you're doing, that won't affect your PC, 2-hour PC amount. It won't affect that. Raise your hair detox, cleans everything. Yeah, I don't know about any of that. Right. I just passed the test. No problem. You've had sushi from a gas station. Went down as good as, oh, maybe if you get them both there. I'll take a pack of these and that sushi. Look at the date. The date, it says made, March 18th. Love it. It was still created. Nice. I'll send you an email. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, Wild Bill, send it on over here. Let's do the fancy. I got this fancy thing going on here. Look at this. Oh, how about that? Look at that. Man, I'm fancying it up over here. Got this one here. Man, look at this. I cannot believe this works. I don't know if it works. Really. Because I don't see it going on the screen. So I hope it worked. Look at that. Fancy. I heard that it had to be the nearest safe legal parking from your location, correct? As long as you're not traveling in the direction of your load. Otherwise, well, no. I mean, that wouldn't be fair. For this, advancing the load is different on this where you're stuck at a ship or receiver, I think, as they write it, than just advancing the load. Say advancing the load, there's safe legal parking 10 miles. But to not advance the load, I would have to go the other way 30 miles. So I'm actually out of my way. I wouldn't do that. I would go to the nearest safe legal parking, even if it was in the direction of the load. Because if you can prove that, well, look, it's 30 miles this way, but 10 miles. So I went to the nearest safe legal, because that's what they say, nearest safe legal. They don't say a direction. So I'm taking those as different, and I would go to the closest one, nearest one. That's how I would do it. Yeah, that's a jacket roll. Boy, they were really something. Shave your head. Yes, Gary. I've heard several people have written to me that if you don't have any hair on your head, they have tweezers to get hair from you. Oh, Steel Horse, Wild Bill, it works. That's really something. I can't believe it works. I cannot believe it worked. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, because I can't see. I don't get a screen of that here. That's pretty good. What if the nearest, if the nearest truck stop is in the direction, nearest safe legal. If it's in that direction, that's the nearest place. I'd say, look, this is the closest place. Obviously, you can show where the truck stops are. I think you're okay on that. It's different if you're taking the load and you're going home and you're trying. That's an advancement. That's different. But this, where you're leaving a shipper or receiver, they were pretty clear that it was the nearest place. And so even if it's on your way, I'm taking it. Back in the day, how bad was drug use? I don't know if it's any worse than today. Probably a little more because there weren't as many tests. But, is a yellow jacket, is that drug use? I don't know. I mean, more because guys could drive farther. Drivers could go farther. So there's probably more. It's still not a lot. It isn't a lot today. Can't you shave your whole body? Not when they have tweezers, Almond. They go and get it from wherever it is, if you follow what I'm saying. As long as you're empty, you can go towards your next safe legal spot in the direction of your next load. I think, no, this is for loaded or empty. Shipper or receiver, they said. Nearest safe legal parking. Roger Penske. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd do it on here because I have a webinar coming up Thursday, so I wanted to do this to kind of see how it worked, which it's working okay. That's a blue snowball mic. I like it. I do my podcasts on there, which I have a couple of those out at truckinganswersnation.com/podcasts. They should be in the iTunes store this week. That'll be really nice, and everywhere where you get podcasts. That's what your old company told you, even if you have to go backwards. Yeah, whatever the safest is, Heather, that's the way it's written to me. I'm not the one giving a ticket, though, so it does say nearest. If nearest is on the way, they also shave your arms. It may not take it from your arms. Tweezers here. Follow me? You can do it loaded now. Yes, Adco, exactly. It can be loaded or empty. And Either way, as long as it's the nearest safe, because it's shipper or receiver. They know that people are held up. They know these places lock you out and go, get out of here. We've held you all day, now get out. Chrome, yes, exactly. That is the best way to do it. You're considering Covenant, you consider somewhere else. How about that? Just not a great place to start. Chad, what's going on? I have a video about Covenant up. Not a huge fan of them, certainly. And you can wax your body. Yes, they'll find a hair on you. So they said. Get so hopped up on these yellow jackets, you want to get out and push the truck. You got to be careful with them. And I haven't seen them for a while. But, you know, when you'd run 2 or 3 logbooks like it used to be, that is how it worked. And they sold these things at the truck stops. And so you think, oh, these must be fine. They're sold at the truck stop. And then you're like, oh, yikes, right? Wow, I'm awake and it's Thursday now and I left Monday, you know. You would go all the way across the country. That's how it was. We don't have to do that anymore. Then we did it to make money, but you don't have to do that now. Scotty, too hotty, exactly. Oh, we went farther. The trucks ran 75. Yes, you had a faster truck, too. 10 driving and 8 off. You could knock out 1,000 miles. You could. That's correct, too. Then wait for your logbook to catch up. Yes. Many times, I'm sure everybody, right, we've had to park and go, well, I have to sit here until a certain time. Put your visor on and do your figuring and go, oh, okay, now I have to sit here until 2 p.m. Because that's when I'm actually going to show up here on my log. That's how that worked many years ago. Geezer, no, I haven't seen a place doing blood tests yet for that. I think because of the cost, and I think some people probably would find that kind of offensive, more offensive than this. And I haven't seen anybody doing a blood test yet. If they can't pull hair, most likely won't hire. Oh, that might be interesting too. If it was so hard that you completely shaved yourself, they might say, you know, we can't test you, so we don't want you to work here. That's always the problem too. Well, Bill, if you need to shave to get around a drug screen, you should. Yes, I think we're all just hypothetical, but I agree. You should just be able to walk in and pass at any time. You never know when you're going to get tested, and we don't want to. You know, we don't want drivers out there on something because that's a huge problem. Holy mackerel. But then there was a number of you sent me that accident that happened a little bit ago. The driver dropped a sandwich and blasted into an England truck. And a couple of you said, look, an England truck. But it turns out it wasn't England's fault in that accident. Did you see that? Google up driver drop sandwich. It was in the U.S. News and World Report. It was really something. It made the national news. Driver drops a sandwich, crashes in the back of an England truck that had stopped for traffic. Traffic was stopped. It just happened to be England this time. One of the few things that England did that wasn't their fault. And basically exploded the truck. His wife was sleeping in the sleeper, killed her, and completely obliterated the England truck and that truck. And apparently it was just a total disaster. Death. This other guy in the England truck, one of the people in the sleeper, went to the hospital because he dropped a sandwich. I mean, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Pay attention, everybody. Oh my gosh. It was really one of the most horrible accidents I've ever seen. And many of you sent it to me. I appreciate that. It made the national news. Really something. And it was in Terre Haute somewhere. If you have to remember which logbook to give to DOT, yes, you did. You always had, I would have them separated, and then, so only the current one was on the dashboard. I would stick them up in the dashboard so you knew which one to give out. We don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to figure out which ELD to give out. Let's see. Yeah, Warner's from the waist up. Nowhere. We don't want to be shaving to pass a drug test, certainly. There was a guy in your orientation that was bald-headed. It wasn't Telly Savalas. Just asking. But he had a beard. Oh, that's always weird, right? You wouldn't let him egg hair. You wouldn't let him take hair from his beard, so he took it from his armpits? Really? Why wouldn't he do that? Oh, you can't take my beard hair. But you can rip hair from under my arm? That would really hurt. 3 sleeper guys in England truck hurt. I was surprised that there were only 2 people in that truck because I thought, oh, I saw this picture and I thought immediately, what did England do? It turns out England didn't do anything this time. They were not doing anything wrong. It's too bad. So you can plead ignorance that you didn't know there was a truck stop 10 miles to the right. You turn left. I don't know if you could plead ignorance. You could probably say this is the nearest one, but the DOT is not stupid. They know where truck stops are. I guess the next day, I mean, if you were caught, it would probably be later, and you could say it was full there when I went through. I mean, I don't know. If it's just a few miles, I don't know if I'd risk it. The problem is proof the next day. They put this rule out, but it's up to you to prove that, oh, I went to that place and it was full. How do you prove that? Video going around the whole place and there's no parking? I don't know how you do that. Hard to check your Facebook on your sandwich. Oh, well, they found a sandwich. It was in the police thing that was in the news thing that people sent to me. So there was a sandwich. Yeah, there were 2 fatalities. Yeah, because Steel Horse. Traffic was stopped because of another fatality accident that had happened up front. Another truck ran into some RV trailer, right? A travel trailer that somebody was pulling, because there was a picture of that. That was a total disaster. Please, put your sandwich where you can get it or whatever. Oh, my gosh. What's up with the new setup? I had a podcast I got to do Wednesday, or a podcast. I have to do I'm doing a webinar Thursday, and this is the deal I got, and I thought, I don't know if this is going to work. So I thought, ooh, let's try it Monday and see if it works. So it works. And this is the microphone I used to do podcasting with. It's a Blue Snowball mic. And so there we go. So just trying out something different. This way I can have a piece of paper I can read from and see if it works. And so far it's streamed really good. I haven't flickered or anything as far as I know here, because I changed the latency and stuff. Ooh, latency. Look at that. That's late night trucking terms right there. If you need to shave your entire body for a test, you don't want to be driving next to you. I agree, right. And who's getting... Here, take this out of my armpit. That would hurt. Not a lot, I'm just saying. You always mailed your copies over 7 days home. I burned those things, those old things, because really only one book's the one you turned in. And so the other ones just got burned. Loose leaf. A lot of people did loose leaves because they would count the pages in your book. I remember that. I had one guy went through and counted the pages to make sure there were 31 pages in my logbook, because people would pull them out, the pages they don't need to rip them out. And so the police used to count those pages. Now they count the pages on your ELD. They swipe left, 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 left. Buy a soda, the receipt will prove it. Oh, well, they'd say if you could go in there and buy a soda, how come you couldn't park there? How about that? So that's not the best thing either, right? You can't plead stupid. I was told as a driver I should know what the routes are class 2. Yeah. Oh, right. When we had the different routes in Illinois, 73 280 used to be the amount in Illinois. So you had different class of routes and you could put different weights of trucks. Yeah, I agree. It would be your responsibility to know that. Yes. I bet it was a meatball sub with provolone. Yeah. Provolone. This is America, people. Provolone. I went by that initial terror. Oh, you went by the accident? Must have been just before. So you were in the first accident. The first crash was bad enough. It was an RV camper. Right. I saw a picture of that. It was like a pull behind. And that accident slowed traffic down. And then in the back of that was another accident where this truck plowed into the back of an England truck. And so people look at England. But this one wasn't. We can't blame this on England. They weren't doing anything wrong. Did you see the England trailer in that picture? You can all Google that up. Driver drop sandwich or whatever. That truck the trailer from England was destroyed. Completely destroyed. Last time you dropped your Subway, the dog gobbled it down. That stupid dog's eating the paper. What the heck? No body here, more aerodynamic. Yes, for what? Running at the truck stops. Are we, Mark Spitz is now a driver. I've eaten I can't even say it. I've eaten the paper on a Reese cup, which has nothing to do with trucking, but I have taken them out and forgot, and I've eaten the whole thing. I'm like, what the heck? So I guess I know where that dog is coming from. Pull up line at the pumps asking if they had any paid parking. Oh, that's good. And they go, no, it's all full. And so you buy something. That's pretty interesting. It's a lot of work, but yeah. Also, your responsibility to know where truck parking is available. Well, I agree, Wild Bill, but until you go in a truck stop, you don't know if there's parking left, right? We don't know if there's any parking at the place when you go in there. It could be some around back or whatever. You got to kind of drive through it to find out. You'd like to see a 400-pound dude, hairless dude, claim it's for aerodynamics. He'd look like one of those hairless cats, and that's not. That's absolutely not something you would want to see completely. Holy moly! Hey, Blue Issue, what's going on? Are we going to see you Friday at the truck show in Louisville? Like that? Oh man, come on over. I don't know what you all look like. You're going to have to come over and say hello, because I haven't seen most of you, only a couple of you. So yeah, come on out and say hi. I hope to see you at the truck show. If everybody doesn't have their tickets by now, it's $10 to get in, remember. You're going to have to pay, but it's still worth going. You're going to get a ton of free stuff. So well, actually, there'll be bags there to find a place, like going to the auto show. Find the first place giving out bags, and you won't have any problem getting plenty of bags for yourself at the truck show. Everybody, you'll get pencils, pens, papers. There'll be large sleepers to go through. Most of the manufacturers have trucks. Cummins has a ride and drive. I don't know how you get in it. You have to sign up, so they're not going to have a ton of time for it. All companies will be there. Every kind of peripheral, everything you need for trucking is there, giving out samples and coupons and everything else. There'll be tons of all this. If you've never been to one, you should come to it. There'll be over 70,000 drivers. The weather's going to be in the 60s up here, so it should be 70 degrees in Louisville. It's going to be a great day. Blue Issue is not going to make it. Oh, that's terrible. I thought I would see you down there. I'd work not to get that ticket. I'd need to drink it eventually. Yeah, if you go in and you could do that, I mean, that's not a bad idea. Examiner Pride told me they don't let them take facial hair. Really? So you come in bald? I mean, I'm almost there as it is. So what are they going to do with me? If the cops don't believe that there's no parking available, he's not going to believe. Well, at night, it's easy to believe there's no parking available. I mean, oh my gosh, you can see at these places at 6 o'clock at night, they're more than half full. They're 90% full, some of them. Scotty Too Hottie, stay away from the people with the chicken lights. All right, well, thanks for being here today, and I hope to see you next week, and of course this Friday. Another good use of dash cam shows you driving. As long as you would save that one going through there, right? That would be a very good use of it, right? You got a hairless cat. They're the coolest, smartest cats. Yeah, cool is the word, right? Don't you have to keep them warm and everything because they don't have any hair? That's what I've heard anyway. Freight rates are keeping you in the Northwest. What's a freight rate today? How much are freight rates? I only know from Cash is King Trucking does a lot of freight rate videos, which I think are really interesting. He does pretty good at it, by the way. He nets more than some of these lease companies pay gross, which really, really something. You miss Harry. Yeah, well, I would miss him too, right? $2. Well, Northeast actually should pay $2.50, right? That's what I'm thinking. Because of all the tolls and everything, it's got to be at least that much. Harry the hairless cat. Yeah, he would be harmless too and hairless. I miss them all that I don't have here. I don't see her here today, right? The vice president in charge of napping is probably napping in the back window somewhere. I have a bird feeder set up. That's fascinating. That she goes out there to check out. Cassius King grosses. He takes home more than some of these people gross. And when this Borello case really comes around to these other states, and you've leased a truck and you can't prove, that you can work at other companies, and that you don't do the principal work of the business, like Prime, which is trucking, you're doing their principal work. You're not going to be considered an independent contractor. Just like Swift right now is not hiring any more lease drivers from California. They're only taking people with their own authority. And they made the lease drivers either get their own authority or become company drivers in California because of this ruling, because they know it is going to be a huge problem for them. And that's going to be the problem nationwide. This leasing scam that these companies put out, that's exactly what it is. It's just to get you to go in there and rent their truck from them. It doesn't make you any more money. Compile full parking and make a YouTube to share. Oh, you could? Oh, wow. You could do it like a whole thing. You could put those together and put out a YouTube video. Look how busy it is in this place. Let's take a BlueParrott break. I need a screen for that, right? Don't forget to get your BlueParrott headset, of course, as always, at truckinganswersnation.com/links. I've got some on there, and they've gone down now, right? That 450 is like in the low hundreds now. So, well, I wanted to ask you if you're still on here, Steel Horse. You were going to replace the battery in a headset. I keep forgetting to ask you. Were you able to actually do that, and did it work? I've never heard of anybody doing that. They're a high-maintenance cat. Funny thing is people would rather break in a truck with a dog than a hairless cat. Look, I'm a cat person always, and they all seem to be pretty high maintenance to me. My cat has medical insurance, so that's where we are here. Maybe if a protest day where all dash cams follow and hash no parking left to post video under specifying date so people can ask legislatures. That's not a bad idea, too. There's a lot more people with these dash cams out there. Don't punish drivers for pulling over to sleep. Just fire them if they are constantly late. You know, I'm not a big fan of people pulling over on the shoulders. I just have not been a fan of it at all. Especially on the left side, on a ramp. You know, you kind of try to thread the needle in there. You got drivers that are coming in that are tired. I just don't like it. So I got, you should have all your stuff ready. Almond, right. At least one of them is a shower, which is another thing. Here's going to be the thing at the truck stop, at the truck show, too. Okay, look, if you go to the truck show, I shouldn't have to tell people this, but I do. Can you shower up before you go in there? That'd be really, really great. There are drivers that are walking around in there that have not had a shower all week. Is there some reason for that? I just don't understand it. Okay, stop somewhere, right? There at the 16 in Indiana and Memphis at the Loves is a truck stop. You know, coming into town, there's a pilot on the way in coming from the south. Please, do not walk around like that. It's just crazy. I should have a BlueParrott banner on the wall. Yeah, I'll see what I could do. Get them something going on about that. I'd have to put that in reverse probably. Yeah, I'd have to figure that out and put it up there in backwards letters. I could switch them out. I can just do this kind of fancy thing if I had thought about it, which I didn't, of course, is do this. How about that? All right, and transitions. Look at that, man. I just can't believe this works. It's really amazing that I got it to work at all. Considering. Oh, wait, I'm going to do this. Oh, wait a minute. All right, there I am. Right. It's at work and I don't even know what I'm doing. It's really something. It works. Small local CDL school versus mega carrier school. Your opinion, which is best? The cost of schooling. If the cost of schooling, go to a place near you. And that way you don't have to have a contract. Worry about paying a truck company back. Go to a place near you, because at a large place, even at a better place, you never know what kind of trainer you're going to get. Once you go out, it can be anybody. The trainers, some of them are horrible there and they've been there for years. Go to the place near you, the smaller place, as long as you could pay for it. Boy, Geezer's got all these people in the truck. A lot of people, that's why we went into driving. People just prefer being by themselves. Maybe an old dog. The cat's better. It doesn't have to be walked when it's 20 below zero outside. As I always watch people here walking their dog, and I stay inside when it's warmer. You know, I like them, but I just can't. I can't get out there in the cold weather just to walk a dog. BlueParrott 450 refurbished. I've seen the new ones for like $139 now, though. So, you know, refurbished, I don't know about that. Who's selling them refurbed anyways? BlueParrott sell their own refurbished ones? I didn't know that they were doing refurbished headsets at BlueParrott. And then does it have a warranty too? I mean, is that a thing? I don't know. Where are they $99? Because I don't know if I have the thing here right. Of course, I probably don't have it. I don't even know if I'm still on the screen. I hope so. I'm going to try to find the price of it right now. I think I can do it. It's amazing. I didn't even know I could do any of this. They're like, oh, you can do all that stuff. Right. Awesome. Checking the prices. And I'm finding a 450 right now for $116.95. $116.95 for brand new 450 at my off of my thing right here. I'll put the link. I'm going to even try this. Man, it's hard to believe it. Can it be done? Oh, man, look at that. Uh, you're bald, so they took it off your arm. Well, are you bald by choice or bald, by thing? So Amazon's got them 99, but here they're 116 for 450, right there on the links page, and for a brand new one. Dogs aren't dumb. You feed after whatever. You walk in the cold. Dog knows it's bad. Look, I grew up with dogs. Okay, my dad always had dogs, so we always had a dog growing up, and the dog would run out in the cold and come back. Absolutely, right? The cat's just a little bit easier maintenance. It costs more at the vet because it has to go to the vet more, but it's overall easier maintenance. How many of you right now are in a lease, and are you concerned about this Borello ruling? Borello ruling. I think it's a real problem for people that lease. If you're leasing a truck, I mean, if you do the principal business of the company, I think you're going to have a problem. I think it's going to be a real problem. Can you work at another company? And if you're a company driver on 1099, do you have the opportunity to make a loss? That's number 7. Probably not. If you can't lose, you absolutely can't lose. If you're a company driver, you can go to 0. That's not a loss. I'm a regular VJ. Yeah, right. I'm brave with a computer. Look, Steel Horse, I really thought when I clicked that was going to be it. I'm surprised that everybody is back, that I came back to this page. I'm very surprised myself because I had no idea where that was going to go. But, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I can't be afraid to do something because that just holds everybody back. That holds you back. So that's what I thought. I'm going to click it and see what happens. I thought everybody's going to yell at me Friday or whatever. I don't know, but I got to do it to see. It's the only way I can find out if it works. If you're a Michael Young, fleece. Yeah, more people are being fleeced by this 1099. Because somebody wrote to me, they may be on here today, I don't remember, from Atrix Trucking. They said, what about Atrix Trucking? And so I go look at it. Well, you're 1099. So I'm like, I'm out. And so then they wrote back and said, well, what about other than 1099? I said, that's enough for me. I'm going to work there. I'm not going to get insurance. I'm not going to get workman's comp. I'm not going to get unemployment. I'm not going to have any kind of benefits at all. And for what? I mean, there's plenty of companies that will give you those things so you don't have to be a 1099. If you're being 1099 somewhere, if nothing else, they should at least pay you extra because they're getting the benefit of not paying all your benefits. Oh, I said benefit twice. But seriously, they don't have to pay into that either. So they should bump your pay. But I see 1099 companies for 50 cents. You can go get full benefits and get 50 cents a mile. It doesn't make any sense to me. Never accept that. You should get 75. If you're getting 80 cents, then I could see, I see why company drivers doing that. They're getting a huge benefit for it, 90 cents a mile, because the company saves so much money. I don't see that, though. I'm seeing the same kind of pay come all the time from these places and no benefits. You just walk in and if you get hurt, you're finished. Too bad. If they close, you're finished. If whatever happens, you're done. That's not right. Drivers are very likely to get hurt in the industry. Very, very likely idea. No idea why people would pay double the cost for a stupid flea spec truck. Some of them get an extra air application pressure gauge, so you have to consider that because that's probably worth $800 or $900 a week. And you can usually put your name on the door, maybe just your first name, but sometimes your handle too. So there's also that air application pressure gauge, name on the door. There we go. You're debating between a PETA and a KW. It's true, all the same truck just breaks down. I think a lot of it is personal, right? The engine and all that's the same. You buy the same driveline everywhere else, right? Those are going to have a PACCAR or probably whatever you want in them, but it doesn't matter what kind of truck it is. I think they all seem to, like my Cascadia's really hardly had any problems, and I got it at the end of 17. So, and then some of them have a lot of problems. You just never know. Am I on the golden Trucking Answers microphone? This is the new Trucking at Night microphone. We are trucking through the night. I have a webinar to do on Thursday, and I thought I'm going to try my blue snowball. I do a podcast as well. If you haven't been over there, it's on the website. You can go check out the first couple of episodes. It will be up wherever you get a podcast soon. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully this week it will get approved by Apple. That's what I'm hoping, and it'll be up on iTunes and on your favorite podcasting app. So I thought, I'm going to try this on here, see if it works. It seems to work okay, so I'm very happy with it. And considering I had no idea what I'm doing. Getting better over Hugh. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I'm glad somebody thinks that. Do I have any opinions on leasing at Prime? Yes. It seems that a lot of their drivers go lease from the get-go. Yeah, because they promote it. Oh, look at how much money. It's one of the most expensive truck leases that I found. They're well over $1,000 a week for that truck. That's crazy. Even though they let you pick, you can pick out your color and stuff. That's crazy. I don't care what color the truck is. But they go for that because Prime pushes them into it. Of course, rent our truck from us, and then you can make less money than we would have paid you. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not new. New drivers, they take advantage of these new drivers coming in. And they paint them a picture with the beach and the big boat and the Ferrari, and they go, oh, look, you can have all these things if you just lease a truck from us. Look, you can have 9 Ferraris like this driver. It's not true. Okay, it just isn't true. You're going to be out all the time, and you're not going to make any more money than a good company driver at a good company. None of them have been able to show that to me at all, certainly. PS3 trucker noise canceling over the head boom mic. Yikes. $25. There is, quit smooching the mic. There's a point at which you have to pay something to get a quality microphone, okay, and a headset. And these $25 ones, it cannot be that kind of great kind of thing, certainly. Remember the pyrometer? Oh, yeah, right. The pyrometer or exhaust gas temperature. I've had trucks with those on them. I haven't seen those in many, many years, though. I don't know what happened to them. Of course, most of the trucks hardly have any gauges anymore, but I don't know where the pyrometers went off to. Color's important. Red makes it go faster. Yeah, exactly. People think, oh, I can pick my color. So that's absolutely the thing to do. Why would you have that kind of thing? The color. What for $1,000 a week? Some of them are $1,200 a week. Enjoy. Yours works great, but of course it doesn't work as good as the official headset of Trucking Answers, the BlueParrott. As I said, I mean the real test of it, and I like it anyway. It's to stand in front of a running truck and make a phone call. So if you stand in front of the truck and make the phone call, and people don't know that you're outside in front of a truck, that's the test of a noise canceling headset. And I really do think BlueParrott has done good on that part of it. And many, many truck drivers, agree. The $25, I can't imagine how much noise canceling is in a $25 headset. Okay, Geezer saying it's cylinder head temperature, but you don't see the gauge anymore, right? Where's the pyrometer? Who's got one? Is anybody running a truck with a pyrometer in it? You meant cheaper builds and Kenworthless by today's standards. You can order your own truck, right? Your 2006 has a pyrometer, exactly. It's 13 years old. No new ones, they're just not on there. You would not have said anything about them if they didn't. Look, I'll believe you that it's a good headset. I'm just not a fan. There's things in life you just have to pay a little bit of money for. We can't, I would just be a little concerned at $25 that a headset would have the noise canceling to drown all the exterior noise out of a truck. Some people are out here driving PTL trucks around. It's got to be loud in those trucks. What about an England truck? You hear all that talking back there. Who knows what all the 4, 6, 8 people in the back are doing, playing games. I saw they're playing Twister back there. That's loud. That's a lot of noise. Pictionary, they're doing stuff back there. You got to drown that noise out. Werner is a $425 a week walk-away lease. Oh, then you can just walk right away from it because it isn't any good. I'm still not impressed because Werner, what do you make a week there? What's the end result at the end of a week after all your fuel and everything? Is it more than a company driver at a good company? And you have to include your benefits as well, which you don't get. So you'll have to buy those on the open market. And then we'll compare. I hear you, but hey, right. $25, the noise canceling is worth the extra money, and the BlueParrotts last a long time. Although apparently you can change the battery in them, which I never would have thought about doing. BlueParrott is worth it. BlueParrott is totally worth it. Getting a good headset, it's something you just have to have in trucking. It's one of the first purchases after a CB that you should get is a good headset. Oh, that's good. Time zone. That'd be a great button on there. Making a dispatcher canceling headset. That parrot button on there ought to cancel your dispatcher out when they start getting stupid. Press that button, beep, they get a message. I'm sorry, you've been canceled. Please try again later. That's how it should work on there. That button. Instead of a parrot button, it's a dispatcher button. I love it. So if you take $4.25 a week, 2,500 miles, 7 miles to the gallon, $1,200 of fuel. Now we're at $1,600 plus all your other expenses and all that's another couple $100 probably for $2,290. You're at $1,800. So this truck grosses $3,000 a week. That's $1,200. Big deal. That's 50 cents a mile. That's what I'm saying. You know, I don't think that's any kind of money. $1,200. You can make that at a company job anywhere you go. Werner was bad enough, and then CL retired. That's at every company. At Walmart, Sam Walton retired. Here, and is gone now, right? Here, Werner, Mr. Werner retired. Every place, once it gets passed on to the kids, it goes down the, the chute. That's it. It's done. You know, as soon as the original person says, "Oh, we're going to retire here at this date," you think, "Oh, well, I guess that's my last day then," because this place is about to, hit the fan. It's going to be bad. The people that come in to take over, whether it's the kids or they sell it to somebody, it's never going to be the same place. People that started the companies years ago, they were like all about taking care of drivers, being good to everybody. Now it's just make money for shareholders, pay the least amount possible, lie to everybody, who cares? It's just, a lot of it is just ridiculous. Remember the emergency engine kill switch? Used to be on Detroit, 2 strokes. No. I never had an engine kill switch, but I did have a front brake limiting valve on a Ford. So I'll counter with a front brake limiting valve, which on the dashboard did exactly what it says. You flicked it over, and you turned off the front brakes, just like that with a switch on the dashboard. It was a big lever actually that flipped over. And when you turned off the brakes, the idea was then the steering axle wouldn't lock up. And so if it didn't lock up, then you would be able to steer in a panic stop. Of course, you had 2 less brakes, so it took you longer to stop. But the idea was you didn't lock up the non-radial tires that you had on the whatever you were on, and you could still steer this old Ford to wherever it was going. That was a front brake limiting valve switch, and that was on one of my first companies. And this truck was old then, probably in the a mid-70s Ford, when I first started driving. So James, you remember the emergency kill? See, I never had a 2-stroke though engine. You remember the front brake limiting valve as well? Those are really. I tried and it worked. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous, because you would have to already have it off. Because you can't anticipate, oh, I'm having an emergency, I'm going to try to flick the switch off. So you'd have to drive with it off. And then you had 2 less brakes, and they were horrible brakes as it was anyway. So I thought it was probably pretty unsafe. No one mentions when fuel surcharge went down to 12 cents. Years ago, the surcharge was probably 0. I remember paying 80-some cents at the truck stop for fuel. It would have been the cost there. So there should have been no surcharge then. Pull handle on the dash cut the air off of the engine. Oh, and then it just killed it because it couldn't get any air. Why would you need an emergency pull handle anyway? For a runaway or whatever, in case it was a runaway, maybe like that. I don't know why else you would need to emergency cut off the engine. But then I don't know why you need to emergency cut off the front brakes. It would take you forever to stop. And this was my first job in Chicago. I'm running a local around town, and I have a front brake limiting valve. They didn't teach you anything about that in truck school. I had no idea what that was. I had to figure it out for myself. The Brigadier that I had a 2-speed rear end in it. So it was a 5+2. I didn't know what that meant. I'm trying to shift it like they taught me at truck school, and it didn't work that way. Pulling the lever and coming back around wasn't exactly how that Brigadier worked. So I had problems with that. A lot of the stuff you get taught in truck school is not the actual stuff that you should learn for the real life. I guess they didn't anticipate then that I'd have even a 20-year-old truck then to go drive around in. They can't cover everything. But this place just expected you to be able to drive. I mean, we graduated Thursday, and I went to work Monday. There wasn't any, going with a trainer or anything like there is now. Now everybody's out with a trainer for 4 months before they can even drive a truck. We just went to work, getting our yellow jackets and, headed off to work without any problems. We didn't get griped at about it. Front brakes were not, but on classic trucks till 75. The limiting valve was till 75 because that truck might have been older than that. So front brakes were not on the trucks until 75. This truck would have been in mid-70s. Remember when you used to have to drive your own truck? Yeah, you actually had to drive a truck then. They had to figure it all out. Not like today when it almost drives itself around. Used to work for a killer LTL company. Then they were bought out by another company, right? Just to see if the owner's son could run a company. Oh, what a great way to do it. Why don't you try to run this place? Why would an owner even do that? Probably because, he's my son, and so he probably knows everything about the business, and that's generally not how it works. If you pulled the handle, you had to go under the hood and reset the air valve. So it wouldn't put it back in if you put the handle back in? That's no good either, right? They taught you the most important rule, don't run into anything. They were pretty big on that. Be safe. Stop. Always look. Go slow. Right? And so that's to this day. That's probably the best rule all the way to this day. That's how you're going to make money. Even if the economy goes down, people were asking about that. If you have a good record and a little bit of experience, it doesn't matter what the economy is. You will always have a job because, right, the number one commodity is food. Food and clothing is the number one commodity. People got to eat all the time. So as long as they're eating and the toilet paper is being delivered, somebody that's safe has to deliver it. Okay, no axle brakes are an option until 75. Well, that truck must have had brakes because it wouldn't have a front brake limiting valve on it. I didn't realize the whole brake history. But that had a front brake limiting valve, which turned them off. Limiting, they didn't seem to work at all. Remember the blue round button as part of your parking brake trailer supply? No. I remember the trucks used to have 40 switches to turn the lights on. The Fords, especially Macs, were like that too. It seems like the R model Mac. It was like starting the space shuttle just to turn on the lights at night. You'd have to start an hour before dark time and flick 20 switches. Every light had its own switch. The outside 2 clearance lights would come on. Then the middle 3 would come on. Then the lights on the outside of the turn signals would come on. And then the headlights would come on. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You had to make sure you had all these switches on before you could drive at night. Flicking switches. You press one switch, rocket launches from the background. It was crazy. Those were crazy days. But what did this round button do as part of your trailer brakes? Yeah, emergency stop to prevent over-revving the engine while working on it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. For the engine runs away, you can pull this thing and stop it on a 2-stroke. Crazy. That's crazy. People out here. See, I always say, like, I've been driving a while, but there's people been out here a lot longer than me with other equipment, right? So, I'm not like the biggest, longest term driver or anything out here. I never think that I am or anything like that, I'm just this blue button. I don't remember a blue one. A third button. What the heck is that for? Rim, bud, and split. I had the bud rims, right, with the split ones. Absolutely. The blue round button, though, I don't remember that. That Ford didn't have a third button on it. The split rims, I get some old trailers now that I look at the rims and wonder if I'm still going to get the 2-part rims on them. I haven't seen one in a while, but I get some 20-year-old trailers, 22 years old some days. Some days they're new. The trailer I have, coming up is going to be brand new, so 3 months old. I just never know. You just never know. 20 years, 3 months, you just have no idea. Some have the underneath thing. Some don't have anything. It doesn't make any sense. I will say that it's 3:32, and so I do have to go to work to haul these old trailers around. And so I'm going to do this thing one more time to see if it works, if I can do it. Look at this. Be sure to read my blog. Go to check out the podcast. Write to me if you have any questions. Of course, right there. Look at that. It's on the screen. Boy, that's pretty good. I hope to see everybody at the truck show Friday. And I'm probably going to go live before that as well. And I'll be live all day. And so here's how it's going to work again for everybody. I'll be live at the truck show. And I don't know what the connection will be like there or anything. So the live stream might come and go. You never know when. I'll just start a new live stream. So just check back. You'll probably get notifications all day. just pop in. I won't be able to answer the questions like I do today because of the way it'll be live there, but I'll have an assistant with me, which you'll love that you heard that. And so it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun, right, down there. And it'll just be live all day. I'll probably have to end up being live 5 or 6 times that day. That's probably how it'll work. 8 times. I don't know. But every minute that I can be live, I will be live down there. In the stream I just ended, but it'll come right back. So keep checking for it. If your log screws up when you're due for sleeper berth and doesn't reset your drive time, you're required to drive what options and doesn't reset, you'll have to call your company, because if it doesn't reset your drive time, then there was a problem and they can go in there and edit your log and set it to the proper amount. You just read your paper log. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to reset it if it's a legitimate problem that the log had. You worked for a company when the boss told me he was retiring and giving the business to his kids. You begin to look for a job. Exactly. Because you know what's happening. You know what's going to come. 45s are huge. Yeah, I had 48s. We had 45 containers and stuff. And I remember when the 53s came out and you got one of those and you thought, oh my God, how are we ever going to drive this thing around? You'd back into a dock next to somebody with a 45-foot trailer and you looked like you had one of those gigantic sleepers. You remember the blue shift handle? Kept you on duty instead of being on the sleeper. Your company can edit that. There's no reason like we can do that. All they have to do is go in and edit it and say this was incorrect. That shouldn't be a problem to correct it, really. The blue button was for tractor parking brakes. It wouldn't set the trailer brakes, so like the yellow one now. Blue button was your tractor protection. When you lost air, the blue would pop. Oh, nice, to prevent the tractor. Oh, that's a good idea. They should still do that. I don't know why they don't still do that. Hey, Adco, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Will there be show trucks there? Oh, yeah. There'll be a ton of trucks. You can get through them. The Cummins has a ride and drive, although you have to sign up early for it. There's big sleepers to walk through. There's tons of companies. Everything in trucking is there. You got pulled over for no headlights on a Ford. You pulled the switch up, but there was a second switch. There's like 50 switches. And if you don't do them in order, then there's like an alarm and the truck explodes. You know, you have 9 seconds to redo this order. And you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I just got out of truck school. So, I mean, it was a mess. Oh, 40s and 42s. That was the longest because a lot of states had linked laws too, right? So until they lengthened the laws in the whole country, you couldn't get these long trailers out here. That's really something. Wild Bill, I will see you Friday there. James, I hope to see everybody Friday at the truck show, really. And thanks for being on the stream today and hanging out while I tried to do all my shenanigans with the electronics. Johnny, thanks for being here. And you're quite welcome. I do what I can here. Whatever you need, just write to me. Oh, Spicer Airshift 4x4. Holy mackerel. Holy moly. But I am headed off to work, so I'm going to see if I can even end the stream. I don't even know how to do it. They fixed, never told you to run. Yeah, Clay, your company can edit that. They can just, it should just take them a moment, really. I don't know why they didn't do it. Because your company can just go in, hit an edit button, change it, and they just put a notation, oh, it didn't set or whatever. And it's totally legal. It's totally allowed. Al, thanks for being here. I am attempting to end it, and I'm going to go to work. I'll be live this week and live all day Friday. I hope to see everybody there, all right? So I will see you at the truck show. Thanks for being here.